Okay, yeah,
We're
we're
early.
live. Yeah.
We weren't scheduled to be on anyway.
No.
We just are.
Yeah,
Maybe,
we're on we're on live.
maybe
And we'll
somebody's
see
out
if
there.
somebody come out.
Maybe
If they
somebody.
come on, then they come on. If they don't, then
Maybe somebody's
we'll
mother
hang up.
will be on.
Yeah, we just wanted to
To all
say
you mothers out there. Well,
Happy Mother's Day.
some of you.
Oh,
Some of you don't deserve it. Some do and some don't.
oh no.
It's the truth. That's okay. Nobody saw that. Unless they watch the rebroadcast. If they watch the
Well,
rebroadcast,
three
they'll
people are
catch
in
that.
the
Oh no!
stream, and we got Monster Diesel.
He says he's
Hey.
always first, but he doesn't feel good. Why not?
Oh no, he feel crappy, mother. I feel crappy.
Hank Hackenbush.
Hey Hank,
Say
how are
hello.
you?
Yes.
Yeah, we just wanted to come on. We weren't doing much or nothing, so we wanted to come on and say hey to everybody and hang out for a little while and just see what everybody's up to
If anybody is out there,
on
if
this
anybody's up
Mother's
to
Day.
anything, my friend Wiley.
Hey Wadley, how you doing?
Widely, this, the, thatly, something, the.
So hopefully everybody had a very uneventful week. Not too much has been going on in your lives to bring you despair.
Life's hard enough. Oh,
hey, Ridley Cinema, haven't seen or heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing well.
How random.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
We do the random ones every so often. Sometimes we're not busy or doing much or nothing. So we just jump on and see who's around and sit and chat for a while. So that's what we decided to do today. Just, hey, Jeff. Just Jeff.
Just Jeff. It's just Jeff.
It's just Jeff. Who's that? Oh, it's just Jeff.
Just Jeff. That's okay. Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
You know what would be a good name?
What?
Justin Credible. Justin Credible. That should be my superhero name.
No.
Justin Credible. No, my superhero name is Crash. Crash Landing.
I thought that was that other name.
Crash Landing. It can double.
Oh my god.
That's right, guys. It's Crash Landing.
That's you don't want to be a superhero that just crashes into things.
That's all Bullet Man was.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Bullet Man?
I remember Bullet Man, but I think he was more purposeful.
Yeah, he crashed into shit. That's all he did. He's like, he had the bullet helmet and he would just ram into ships and sink them. But not Bullet. Although it is the same Bullet Man, isn't it? The Bullet Man from G.I. Joe is a reincarnation of the 40s pre-code superhero Bullet Man who looked exactly the same, and he would fly around and just ram through stuff.
Celebrated earlier in the month, Mom has started collecting CDs, so I got her the Doors album.
Oh, okay.
We listened to the Who album
recently.
Yeah, this week, and I never heard the whole album at one time. The songs I knew, and it was a couple of songs I didn't realize they sang. I knew the songs, but I didn't realize it was the Who, and it was actually pretty good record. So
there's a lot of stuff that you don't know the Rolling Stones did either. Yeah. They only ever let you hear the 70s stuff.
Yeah.
Because remember, they did a lot of psychedelic stuff in the 60s, which is actually pretty good.
We just listened to one actually.
Like 20,000 Light Years or Rainbow is really good actually. And then they did stuff in the 80s like Too Much Blood and Undercover of the Night and stuff like that was really good. And the music video for Undercover of the Night is really well done. It's a well written video. But with a shootout in South America, that one.
Yeah, we saw that video.
And it's like so for some reason you only ever hear any of their 70s work.
Well, that's how it is with all of these artists. That's why I like getting the records and I listen to the whole thing. Just sit there and then because some of them you're like, whoa, I never heard that song, or I didn't realize this artist sang that song. Like we were listening to Yes. Some of the songs on Yes were kind of, hey, Graphic Man. Yeah. Some of the songs were like, okay, I could have kept that one. But there was a few of them were like, whoa, okay, that's not a bad song.
It's not bad.
Because they're basically a one-hit wonder.
Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Owner of a Lonely Heart. Yeah.
Yeah, see, now she's up to her eyeballs in CDs. But that's what happens. that and which reminds me of Mystery Science Theater 3000, because that's one of their best like improv side sketches. Is when Tom Servo was confused about the song.
Yeah, Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah.
Why can't it be Owner of a Lonely Car?
Oh, he was like, well, how does that compare to?
Yeah.
Like how does an owner of a golf cart compare to the owner of a watermelon? Or he just random.
Yeah,
and he'd sing, and he'd have to sing it.
Yeah, but it is good. We went to a comic book convention on yesterday.
Some of you probably saw the video if you're regular viewers.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. It was in Alabama.
Yeah,
and it was their first that group. It was their first comic convention.
Yeah,
and it was really nice. So if it comes up again, of course we'll tell y'all, and hopefully y'all can go check it out for yourselves. But we had a good time. So
one guy did go. Because he saw us on the roundup,
and he went out.
He was like, I didn't realize. He was like, that's going to be tomorrow, and I'm not that far from here.
Yeah.
Like, hey. So we got to go and check that out, and it was slow going, but that's because they're newer, so they didn't get as much attention as you would expect. But then that worked out in favor of people that might be buying, because you get a little bit better deal, because these guys have a lot of expenses they got to consider. Hey, out of sight.
Gotta take the dog for a walk. No. That's fine. Thank you for stopping by, and make sure you give us a like. Yes, and just stopping by and saying, hey, take care. Have a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, because we found some good deals. I showed that in our haul at the end there, which was pretty cool.
See our CDs. I'm really pissed that the new Blink 182 album will not be on CD. It's on vinyl and digital down only.
Well, they're giving up on the CDs, and this is the thing, because you remember, some of you might remember, I did a thing, Is Vinyl Dead? A video about that.
Yeah.
Because it's really hanging by a thread, and it's being kept alive by people like us who are curious about or have an affinity for the vinyl, or we collect it, or we're nostalgic or whatever. And people are like, that's not true, because it's in the stores. And it's like, we grew up in the Tower Records era, where you'd have like 2 floors of a Walmart-sized store full of records to a 5-foot display now in Target and Walmart, number one. And number two, they say, well, vinyl outsold CDs. They're not really selling CDs anymore. Hey, Max Mueller's there. But who's buying CDs? Nobody. The nostalgic crowd's keeping vinyl alive.
Yeah.
But until the next generation is like, hey, I remember when I used to have CDs, and goes back and looks for them, nobody's going to care.
I still got all my CDs. I don't use them. I get my CDs and I put them on the computer hard drive, but I keep the CDs. I haven't bought a CD in a long time. I haven't bought a CD in years, because they moved from CDs to digital download. And then I don't listen to a lot of modern artists anymore.
I don't have Oily Jigglers, but I do have some of the Bendies and some other like bubblegum figures and prizes from that era.
Yeah.
Was it T. Stewart?
Yeah. Oh yeah. T. Stewart was saying if he had some friends here, tell them about our show.
I don't have any either. It's okay. all my friends walk on 4 paws.
The stick of butter.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what in the world is that? Who's gonna put a stick of butter on the Christmas tree?
Stick of butter, a chef. Maybe they got another one that's an egg.
Oh, you know what? If you work in a bakery and you have a Christmas tree, I guess you can get like food ornaments.
That's lame.
I guess.
Go ahead.
That's the only way I can see.
Punisher Rex is there.
Hey, Eric, how was your day today? Our day went fine. We didn't do much of nothing.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You can't find CDs anymore. All of the big box stores that used to carry them, Walmart, Best Buy, and all that, they did away with them like over a decade ago.
Wow.
So it's like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, because Best Buy, I
So
remember when
big
Best Buy
surprise,
was,
vinyl's outselling it. Nobody's buying. Nobody's even making the CDs.
yeah. But I remember when Best Buy was like half of the store was CDs, DVDs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, CDs and DVDs.
they don't
Because
even
it was
have that department. No,
it's like really tiny.
no software.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, the
Yeah, they got rid of
software.
all the software.
Because I used to go there to buy CDs and
Mhm.
DVDs and software for the computer. But now Hank says his whole record collection was still another. Oh, you got a lot of bendies.
Look,
Also,
you don't have this. Look at that. She made these. Look at these monster chocolate chip cookies that she bakes. See, she bakes. She bakes. She's a keeper. Oh, who said that?
What, Dale?
Dale. I'll show you something here, Dale.
I got like one bendy figure. Oh, yeah. It's a Gumby bendy figure. I just bought the Mondo.
He's talking about ball gum fries, stuff like this.
I didn't know Mondo did cassette tapes.
Do they? They started doing that? I thought they only did vinyl records.
Out of sight says he's bought the Mondo Ninja Turtle cassette tapes. I didn't know they did that. I saw a video where a thrift store was selling a tiny box filled of pet. What? Oh my God. Hey, Cosme. New vehicle. Vehicles don't even have CD. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have nothing.
Everything, it automatically Bluetooth to your phone.
And they've got the lighter plug, but you don't get a car lighter anymore.
No, it's for you to charge up your phone.
Yeah, these are because they don't want to change the technology for that, because eventually there's just going to be like
that's true,
the USB ports. Anyway, Flexi Halloween creeps from the 80s. See, there's a ghoul, and these are like, countertop box or bubblegum machine prizes from like the 80s. There's Disco Medusa. See, if you're into that kind of stuff, you probably recognize these things. As a harpy, she's naked. See, there's Cerberus from Greek mythology. A few of these are Greek mythology. The mummy, colorful mummy. He must have gone to Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, kind of.
Oh wow, yeah.
Scarecrow. Yeah. And the Hydra.
Oh.
The Hydra. And I have some other ones too. You can find these. The other ones you can't find that I have in the other bag here.
I haven't been to Best Buy in a while, but the last time I went, I did walk over to the DVD section. I didn't see any records, but we don't go. I mean, that was months ago when we went. Oh, thank you, Dale. I'm glad you enjoy our channel. A friend of mine in Tennessee was telling me his Best Buy was selling drapes.
Oh yeah.
I'm not surprised with this.
Is it Best Buy spelled BYE, and it's like in an abandoned shopping center? It's the only store left open next to the karate studio.
Oh, thank you, Hank. I like baking, and I bake a lot of stuff. I bake cakes and stuff. I was baking cakes once a week. But David couldn't eat the cakes.
It was too much. I couldn't eat it fast enough.
I don't eat cake at all. So I would bake cakes for him, and I would find all of these like super elaborate cake recipes and bake them for him. But he's the only one that eats it. So then I would get mad because he wasn't eating it fast. But I mean, I know it's like he's the only one eating it. So I slowed down. Baking him cakes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Out of sight says, yeah, Mondo just dropped the limited edition Ninja Turtle cassette like 2 weeks ago, limited to 250 units. And that's what I mean. Because people are saying, oh, well, they're selling out. Yeah, they're selling out because every vinyl record and every cassette and everything that comes out is limited edition now.
Yeah.
1,000 of this, 500 of that. And back in our day, if you couldn't print off at least 250,000 copies of a record, they wouldn't even do it.
Yeah, I got 2 Gumby toys. They're packed up.
Yeah, we
but
don't have
I got
handy.
2. I only got 2. I want to collect Gumby. They didn't make a lot.
No.
And Cosme told me last time we did the live stream that the Amazon has some. And I have seen the ones on Amazon. I thought they had made it when Gumby came out in the 70s,
Gumby?
60s or 70s.
Gumby came out in the 50s.
Oh, well, I thought the toy was from like the 60s or the 70s, but I guess it came out like the 80s or 90s.
And this is Dale. This is the tough one. These are the insect women bubblegum prizes. You see, you got, well, not all insects, because obviously this is a cobra woman. And you can't find these. If you look on eBay, you won't find them. Insect women or something like that. Here's the scorpion woman.
That looks weird.
You know, some women are venomous, so there you go. The centipede woman. Dun, dun, dun. Centipede woman. I'm trying to keep it in focus there. The tarantula woman. I know some women are called black widows.
Yeah, for other reasons.
There she is. Yeah, for other reasons.
They kill their spouse.
Batwoman.
I had legs like that.
I don't know, because for a bat, I mean, she's got like bird legs. And then, I don't know, Gila Monster Woman.
That looks weird.
That is really weird. And for some reason, they're all wearing bikini tops. How do they get dressed?
Oh, thank you, Mrs.
Mrs. question mark.
Yeah.
It's an upside down question mark.
That Boy Scout figure video was fun. Since the figures are accurate to the scale 12 scale GI Joe, I'm surprised they didn't do a Scout Master figure.
Yeah, Kenner killed the line after two seasons. So yeah, because they only did it in 74 and 75, and then I guess it wasn't selling the way they expected, so they nailed it.
Hey, Robert. Happy Mom's Day to 2 beautiful people. Hi, all. Making me a... Oh, yeah. Can't wait to put it together. I actually saw a Prince head sculpt. Really? Hard to do a 6 scale. Yeah. You got to get the outfit. The outfit is going to be the hardest part to get. I'm a big collector of G.I. Joes, also from the 60s and 70s. You met Ace at the G.I. Joe show in Atlanta. I know him. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell Ridley, your mom might like going to the record show, because the record show we went to recently was a record and CD show.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of CDs, but mostly records. But it was a lot of CDs there. I didn't look at any of the CDs because I specifically wanted records. But you know, I might enjoy going.
Yeah, we were looking for vinyl.
Yeah. Did you see the Mythic Monkey King? No, I didn't see that.
I don't think I saw that yet.
I think someone just wanted an excuse to give animals.
They don't need one, because people will just do stuff.
Yeah, people do weird things just because people can do weird things.
Robert Crumb got away with it.
Who was Robert Crumb?
You know, R. Crumb, the cartoonist. He did the comic books with the anthropomorphic animals.
Oh, okay.
Like Fritz the Cat. And it was all pornographic.
Yeah. I saw a Fritz the Cat cartoon, because it was a cartoon, and I was like, oh my god, no. Yeah.
The adults only cartoon.
I swear, every time I hear Boy Scouts, I think of South Park. Yeah. What was the Boy Scout leader name?
I don't remember.
I can't remember that guy's name, but yeah.
Because we haven't watched it in a long time, because it just got real bad.
South Park, you got to know what episodes aren't raunchy, and the only way to know is either somebody tell you or it's specified on the thing. So I just quit watching it because it's like hit or miss. Like some of them are just be all out disgusting, and some of them are like, okay, I can tolerate this. This is funny. Like when they did the one with
Macho Man.
Macho Man was good. The one with Caitlyn Jenner was funny too.
Well, the thing is that after the film, when you're doing adolescent humor like that, you can only set the bar lower. So then people are watching just to see how much of what you're going to get away with rather than to be entertained. And it happened. Same thing happened with Family Guy. Family Guy fell fast, though. I mean, after the first, like halfway through the first season, the bar kept getting lower and lower until it was just
I never
hard to
watched
watch.
Family Guy. I
Not
seen
Family Guy, American Dad. I'm sorry, it was American Dad.
Okay, I never watched that
American
either.
Dad got real creepy and raunchy fast, and they did the same thing. It's like, okay, all you can do is keep setting it lower and lower and hope you don't get pulled off the air, which is not hard anymore because there's no stop gaps to keep you from being just really disgusting or lewd on television anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like that kind of humor. I don't care. And that's why I don't like a lot of comedy. Some comedy I can tolerate, like King of the Hill. I can watch King of the Hill. That's pretty clean. It's nothing going on there. Yeah, they'll make some innuendo sometimes, but all in all, it's a fairly clean show.
Actually, that was one of their best episodes.
Which one?
With Khan's mother.
Oh yeah,
that
him and Bill.
Innuendo, which the two of Bill ended up in a relationship with her, and Khan didn't know, and he kept saying things. He was like, "Why my mother's still working for you? She come home real late. You working her too hard at your house." And everybody's laughing because everyone knew but Khan. It's like, oh my god!
But like Beavis and Butthead, South Park, all of that kind of stuff. That kind of comedy I don't like. And then like some comedy movie like American Pie and stuff like that. I don't like that kind of comedy, so I don't watch a lot. Or sitcoms. Some sitcoms I don't watch
because when it's okay to watch that in a movie or a TV show. Problem is when you know someone like that in real life, you really don't want to be around them. You know what I mean?
CDs still sell very well at my local entertainment, but of course they're all because the newer stuff. I mean, really, is anybody buying new music?
No, they just stream it. Who cares?
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the attitude of most people now.
But what I mean is like that new stuff that's out. Does people really do people really want that to the point where they would pay money for it to download it or stream it or whatever? You know what I mean? I mean, if they want to hear it, you can always find it on YouTube for free. But are you gonna go somewhere and download it, pay to download it? Because like it's songs I just go on YouTube and download it onto my phone for free. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Robert says he has Bela Lugosi.
Oh, really?
No coffin.
Oh, you got the one without the coffin? Well, you ain't missing nothing. I had bought a coffin at the last Joe Lanta. I had showed it. I found a coffin. And well, the guy was selling the action figure and the coffin. I was like, look, dude, I don't want that action figure. I just want the coffin. And he sold me the coffin. And it's a better coffin. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look as good, but it fits better than the one that came with it. But you're not missing nothing by not getting that coffin because it did a bummy job with that coffin.
No spec. Dale.
What?
No spec. What's hot on the market to start collecting today? The only recommendations I give is, again, we did 3 videos on it, 70s, 80s, and 90s carded and boxed action figures, sealed, that are cheaper than their modern counterparts. And I do recommend checking those out and taking a look at, some of those properties that have kind of been overlooked. They've gone under the wire because they're not like the really well-known stuff like G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe or something that can get real pricey.
Yeah, but also we don't recommend people buy like with toys and comic books records. People say, "Oh, the hot thing to buy this week." It's like buy what you want to buy. If the hot thing to buy this week is Thor books and you don't like Thor, and it's like I don't even like Thor. That. Yeah. Buy the things that you like, that draws you, that it does something for you, not because some YouTuber say, "Oh, this is what you should have in your collection. The top 5 things you should have in your collection now." And it's like I don't need that in my collection now because I don't even like that. So yeah, only thing we suggest is you buy what you want. Now we will do reviews of stuff that we have bought and give a honest review, like with statues and some toys that maybe
If
we've
it's something
taken out of
new,
the box.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, how we like it, if we think it's nice or not. But still with that, you buy it or you don't, because all in all, it's your money and it's what you like. And that's what I don't get about some people with collecting. They
Yeah.
really get wound up on, well, everybody say I should have this. Yeah, but you don't
Do
want
you
that.
want that?
So
Yeah.
now you still ain't happy because now you bought something that you don't like.
And then when Marvel or DC ruins the film, then and the price bottoms out to back where it was before it started getting hot, then you're mad because you lost a few $100.
Yeah, but and then I don't understand that because we've kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I do understand it, but I don't get it. Like, you like something, a character. You love that character. You've been loving it since you've been 8. You've been buying the comic books. You got all of the toys. Then they make a movie, and the movie's not great. Now you hate the character.
Yeah.
And it's like the character didn't do anything. It's that movie
If
studio.
you enjoyed reading that story, then you stick with the story and forget whatever they did in the cinema.
Yeah, and you know, they'll say, well, Disney, Amazon, Netflix say they're gonna make a show. Now the price of it goes up, or like when Netflix did that, the toys that made us, the price of every toy that they showed went through the roof. Disney will say that, well, we're gonna make a movie based on this toy. It'll go through the roof, and then the movie's bad, and now it's gonna slam back down. Oh, I don't like this anymore. I'm throwing my whole collection away. It's like, for what? You liked it before the movie came out.
Most of those people just did it as an investment, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. And it hurts the people that really want it, because now you might want to get something, the price goes up, or you want to get into it. You're like, oh man, I really like that movie. I want to go buy these toys, this comic book now. And the price is through the roof because everybody got to jump on a bandwagon they don't really want to be on.
Yeah, Ridley, I used to have a bunch of the Toy Biz, X-Men and Spider-Man and other stuff. But, that's part of the collection that I lost from back before Hasbro took over Toy Biz. And no, Mego, I'm sure they're coming out. You know what they've been doing is they reissued all of their exclusive Topps figures that were supposed to be limited editions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's what they've been doing recently. And Robert says he don't like Beavis and Butthead either. Yeah. I watch clips on YouTube, and sometimes they're actually funny. Saw one where Beavis lost a finger on woodshop. Emo Phillips used to pull that gag. Stand-up comic, pretending to be woodshop. He did it on UFO, Weird Al Yankovic's movie.
No.
The guy who accidentally sawed off his finger. He's like, aren't I Mr. Butterfingers, acting all casual while he's spraying blood out of his hands?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Emo Phillips. He used to do that all the time. Ridley says you should do a retrospective of the 70s product mascot figures and how they compare to Funko Pops today. Why? So I can piss off more Funko Pop collectors? They already mad at me as it is, but I mean, there's nothing original. You can see all these pieces over here, all of these product people cereal mascots and the Pillsbury Doughboy pieces and stuff.
Wow.
And they're all, I mean, there's nothing really original about the way the Funko's doing things.
Wow, the pants faded. That sucks.
I'd heard that. I'd heard that some of their clothing was
what are they making their clothes out of to where it's fading in the light?
I don't know.
I don't know. Also bought a 6-scale leather pants for Arnie for the
because it shreds off.
Oh, really?
The whatever they spray on it to make it
Fabio.
look like leather. Hey, Fabio. It says, love the con shirts. Oh, yeah, from Atlanta Comic Convention.
Yeah. Whenever the Marvel field flops, the toys in the hundreds just sit there and collect us. Yeah, we went to Ollie's this weekend and saw a ton of figures. The Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah. All those Masterverse figures.
Yeah.
And,
Battle Cat, Panther, stuff people were looking for, paying hundreds of dollars on eBay for, especially those Battle Cats. They had a ton of them
are dumped in there now on clearance. And then
Marvel Legend figures.
Yeah, the Black Widow figures and the Wakanda figures and all the ones that nobody wanted.
Yeah,
They didn't
some
sell.
Star Wars Black figures
Yeah,
were in
Black
there.
Series Star
Yeah,
Wars.
Black Series.
Somebody was talking about my Grendizer. Guy King. I'm sorry, is Dynamic Guy King that they think of SpongeBob. That's actually supposed to be a lion's face, but that's because when Hasbro got the license from Popey and they moved these from Japan to America, they retooled the figures and drastically changed the way that they looked. Because the original one looked more like this, with the lion's face actually protruding out of the figure. So instead of it being flat like this, the Popey version is more like that, where it's coming out, because the face is actually the head of the giant Dino-Mech that all of the robots are inside of.
Okay.
And the head comes off and attaches to him. But,
yeah,
that's Hasbro for you. I mean, not Hasbro, Mattel made those.
So Robert is trying. I know you said you were doing some DIY display shelves. We had got a bunch of display shelves from Goodwill and thrift stores like that, and also from businesses that were going out of sale.
Out of business.
Businesses that were closing down were selling their display figures, display fixtures, and we bought a couple of those really cheap, and to help display. So those are some things you can do, because I know, like, when you go to Walmart and you put it together, they don't really last that long. But I guess that's the same thing that you get from Goodwill. So I don't know, probably about the same thing.
No.
I started collecting the Art Asylum Star Trek figures a bit ago. The only ones I don't have from the OG crew is, I don't know that name and all them other names. Those three go for
Chekhov,
50 plus.
Sulu, and Uhura.
Okay, and that's just too rich for me. Yeah, the prices of these figures are just going outrageous, because and I've said it before and I mean it. The prices keep going up, but the quality keeps going down, and you gotta wonder why they just want to. I mean, I know it's greed, but man, just the way they price this stuff. Gaining Michael Jackson, Huggy Harry, but no, sure. Oh, okay. A Michael Jackson 1/6 scale figure. That is cool.
Oh, the one that I just picked up. That's that is Guy King also, but since Mattel already did this one as Guy King, they changed the name of this one and they called it Zaragon. And so that's the Mattel Zaragon mini jumbo Machinder. Because those are jumbo Machinders, because they're all are in the 2 foot tall range. So that's a mini jumbo because he's about half the size. And they changed it to Zaragon, even though that's obviously Guy King. Yeah, it's obviously Guy King. I know, it's obvious. Everybody should know that's Guy King.
It looks different enough to me.
I know. So, well, I mean, not everybody knows about those Force 5 figures and the Popey and all of that. But, I'm just being facetious. Prototypes or unreleased figures. Yeah, well, I've got that Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I don't have any, and David says he got a Mandalorian.
I have one. The Mandalorian figure is an 8-inch figure that was given to me, and I forget the name of the person who sculpted it. He was friends with the Hathor. He was friends with the guy who was the sculptor, and they made 3 uncolored prototypes, and they decided not to go with that design. And so the factory destroyed his 2 prototypes, and he only had the one left, and he gave it to that guy, and that guy gave it to me. So I've got the only one. It's out in the hallway.
No, he hasn't gotten that yet. You was going to get that Godzilla for the parts for the broken arm.
Oh, the one that was at the show? Are you talking about he wanted a lot for that one. It was a type 2 or a type 3. I'm not sure which one it was, because the best way to tell is the switch on the back of the neck, because you see three versions here: Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 over here. And I don't know if it was a 2 or a 3, and the switch was broken off his neck, and the button was missing also. But he would have still been good for parts. But what he wanted for it was just too much. And I was like, forget it, But what are you gonna do? And even if I could have gotten the fist for this one, because this one is missing the fist, but of course the fist on this one is a very much brighter green than Type 2 and 3. Oh, so Hobo, yeah, Hobo's doing a lot better.
He's still bullying everybody and starting to fight again. And it's like, what are you fighting for? You can't fight.
He really
and
can't.
He's slapping the other cats around and bullying them out of their food bowl and doing all kind of weird stuff.
And it's gotten weird now because now Mama Cat will get between him when he starts, especially if he rears up on old dad.
Yeah, she gets in between them because she ain't nobody to mess with.
No, she's totally feral. She's never made the adjustment, so I've never been able to even handle her.
Yeah.
But she will now if he starts, especially if he's bothering old dad. That's the one we call, because he is very old. He lays there quietly. He doesn't do anything, and Hobo will start creeping up on him and turning his head sideways and growling, and she'll rush up and stand right between them, and then Hobo will start backing up because she's wild. But and it's funny. She was like, "Don't you bother him."
I think it would have been neat to see any toy store in the 70s and 80s, because like I've said before, I've never been to a toy store until me and David met. Where I grew up, there were no toy stores around. And when we went to the area where there was a toy store, we didn't go to the toy store.
Yeah.
And I didn't even go to the toy section in like Kmart and Walmart and stuff like that. So I don't know if I didn't know that those sections were there, but I've never been in them. I can honestly say I've never been in the toy section. Now, when we got bikes, because I always got bikes, we got it from a place called Western Auto. Western Auto had bikes, or my dad would just buy a bike. But I see the videos and I'm like, man, I like to walk through those aisles, as a kid, or even now.
Ridley, look up Mr. Big Toyland. They no longer exist. They used to be in Waltham, Massachusetts, and they used to be one of the premier go-to Japanese import toy stores in the U.S. in the 1970s and in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they went out of business in the late 90s. But in the 70s and 80s, it was all Japanese imports. And they were on Moody Street in Waltham, Massachusetts. Mr. Big Toyland. And you can find some pictures of that on like a Google search.
How are the prices of the 60s and 70s?
Depends on what you're looking for. Some of the prices, if you're looking for like loose stuff, they're not that bad, but box sets are getting way up there.
Yeah.
I think Hobel's just cranky because he doesn't have teeth.
I don't know, because he started off nice. He was real nice.
Well, he was
friendly,
desperate in the beginning,
and got along. Yeah,
starving to death, the poor thing, and obviously because he can't eat, he can't bite anything. But he was like skin and bone, or fur and bones. But once he plumped out, he got a little aggressive.
Yeah, thinking he can beat somebody.
I guess.
The only one he pick on is dad, because dad's too old to do anything, and he's in pain, and he walks around in pain and always looks like he's in pain. Yeah. So I kind of wish they had a place for slot cars and train sets. Sad they're not around as much.
Yeah, there's not too many like those type of hobby stores around anymore.
It's one around here. You remember we went to it and we took the people from the center.
He has a display in the back.
Yeah, it's a hobby shop where they sell train parts and stuff. And in the back room, they have a nice display. We videotaped it. I think the video should be on the channel. It's nice. It's
an older video, yeah.
Yeah, the wife helped put together the layout of the buildings. It's some kind of scene. I can't remember where they say it's from, but it's some kind of scene. and it looks really good. They did a good job with it.
Yeah. Sorry about your friend's
Oh
dog.
man.
I wouldn't want to do it either. I'd want to, because I don't like the idea of putting an animal down. I think that's pretty lonely. And then, I was faced with that. I wonder
Mm.
about that sometimes too, because they tried to do that with me with a dog that I had in Massachusetts, and then they want to charge you extra to be there when they do it.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
in Massachusetts anyway, just put the screws to you. And I was like, screw that. And I went to like 4 different vets, and then found one who said there was a surgery they could do on his bladder, and then he was fine. So I had 3 vets wanting to put a needle in him, and then one. That's why I don't trust them either. And then the last one was like, yeah, it'd be kind of hard, but he can be stitched up. That bladder can be repaired, I think. And it's like, all right, let's try it. And he was fine afterwards. It's a couple of weeks of recovery, but he was fine.
I've never. I took my pet to the vet. One, no, 2 animals I took to the vet. But normally, they ain't going to the vet. They're gonna be all right at the house. Hey, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh is there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, this one. Yeah, we both watch anime.
Yeah, and we were watching Street Fighter today. Street Fighter 2. That was actually pretty good. Street Fighter 2. We were watching that today, but I think we needed to see part 1 first. But I mean, you could still pick up on what was going on. But we watched some animes. We have watched quite a few. We like the darker, more the darker the better.
Adult oriented.
That kind.
I like a lot of the vintage stuff, like of course the Speed Racer or what used to be called Battle of the Planets, Force 5 and Star Blazers. To me, was amazing. Robotech. Yeah,
we're watching right now Exo Squad, and that 90s. Is actually pretty
surprisingly good. Actually, Exo Squad is surprisingly well written, and it touches on things you would not expect.
Yeah,
for them to do, like genocide and things like that they talk about.
And they got a unique way of handling the racism issue, because they have Neo Sapiens, which are they're not human at all, but is these living beings that they created in a lab.
They're a type of human that were lab grown.
Yeah.
To be more to be physically superior to work in harsh environments.
Yeah, they bred them to be slaves. So now you got a conflict between the humans and them because they took over. Yeah. And that's a way that you can address, because when they interact, you can see like the regular everyday like racist tension between them.
Yeah.
And that was a good way that they handle it. I remember stores with now see and
I remember those days. Now it's like everything's in one aisle and just barely.
And I see the pictures of that, and I'm like, man, that'd be cool. And I remember when we used to go to Toys R Us by then, we when was that, like in 2012 and after, Toys R Us had already slimmed it down to like the adult collector section.
That's why I pick on people. Like, I wish Toys R Us would come back, and it's like, they weren't really a toy store anymore. They had a video game section. They had their adult toy section. They had a section with some action figures, and the rest of it was all bikes and baby clothes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you really asking for? They had a formula section. They had furniture, baby
furniture.
I have very little Big Jim anymore. And Dale, I don't know how long you've been watching, but once upon a time, a long time ago, I had a huge collection of stuff that was stolen.
Yeah, he did a video about it.
Yeah, we did a video because people were asking.
Yeah, so we did like a interview style video of him talking and just explaining what happened with his collection that got stolen. So that's in the archives, and it was pretty interesting because when he talked about it, it was the first time I ever heard the whole story. I heard bits and pieces through the years, but that was the first time I heard the whole story, and it's like, oh man, dude, Yeah, Exo Squad was great. From what I can remember, though, there wasn't an actual end to the show.
I think there was. I think you might have missed it. You know which one didn't have an ending was
Jace
and the Wheeled Warriors. I know what the ending was supposed to be because I've seen the plot for it, but they got sidetracked from Jace and the Wheeled Warriors because they were going to do what Hasbro did because G.I. Joe and Transformers both had a feature-length animated film that was supposed to close out the TV series. So the Transformers, when they killed Optimus, that was supposed to end the show. And G.I. Joe, when they had G.I. Joe the movie, that was supposed to end that show. And they were doing a film also to end Jace the same way. Because Jace was actually a popular show. And it's actually not bad.
It's a real good show. It was
a pretty good show, actually.
It's on Peacock,
is it Peacock?
I think.
I don't remember.
It's on, I think it's either Peacock or Roku or something. It's free to watch. I know that. It's on one of those.
It's actually not bad, but it does not end because they were going to jump into a film. But because there was so much backlash after they killed Optimus, that they had to rewrite the G.I. Joe one because Duke was supposed to die.
Yeah.
That's why you saw he got shot with the snake. He had the snake stuck in him. He died. But then, and you never see Duke again. But then they're on the phone. Oh, Doc says Duke's going to be okay. That wasn't in the script. And in Jace and the Wheeled Warriors, they said, you know what? There's been so much backlash for these last two films. We're just not going to do it. So you never get to see him defeat Saw Boss. And in that, of course, main characters also died. Jace's father dies.
Yeah, Jace's dad never been there anyway.
Yeah, Jace he always just barely caught up. Saw Boss gets killed. You know, there's a lot of characters die in the end. They were going to do the same thing, but never got to it.
Wiley's favorite toy store was KB Toys.
KB was awesome. I liked KB a lot better than Toys R Us, and because it was really totally
Robotech
dedicated to toys. I know who he's talking about. Roy Fokker and Claudia. Claudia was the girl who worked on the bridge. She was black, and Roy Fokker was a pilot. He was white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I think that's. What
okay, Dale did see it, but about your mishap.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, it is what it is. I was off collecting for a long time and then got back into it. Oh
yeah. In your video with Pixel Dan, you mentioned that Mr. Rogers didn't want merchandise. PBS got around his estate by making an animated adaptation that's inspired by his sock puppets, not using any likeness.
Yeah, a little okie doke.
It was an eye-opening. It was sad because, like I said, every now and then we would see something and he'd be like, I had that. And I just never said anything. And I had that, and his head would hang down low. And then
come on.
He would say, yeah, I had that. It was stolen, and he heard bits and pieces. And then I was like, okay, let's just talk about it.
It's hard because there's a lot of stuff I can't replace. You know, it's gotten so expensive now, it's ridiculous.
Oh, Daniel Tiger. God, yeah, Daniel Tiger. We saw Daniel Tiger at the mall. He was at the mall. You know, the little person in the Daniel Tiger outfit. Yeah. Hasbro killed Optimus Prime and General Hawk in the same year. Yeah. Can you imagine being a father back in the day and telling your 10-year-old Optimus Prime is dead? He's never coming back. All hail Megatron.
Galvatron.
Broly Khan. I think the creator of Dr. Seuss didn't want his books made into movies.
Especially since those books are the movies, they were adult oriented. Those movies are not for kids. They're for an adult. They were targeting an adult audience in those films. And Seuss wouldn't have approved. Or
now they make all kinds of movies.
Giesel wouldn't have approved, rather. Giesel, of course, being the real Dr. Seuss.
I like the ones that came out in the 80s, like The Grinch.
The animated.
Yeah.
The 70s.
The
70s and 80s. They did a couple of movies.
But those were good.
Those were traditional to the story. They followed the story.
Okay,
perfectly.
So he released that. Yeah. He allowed that, but not the live action.
Like if you watch the Grinch with Boris Karloff, it's word for word for the book.
Oh, okay.
So except for the song part, but the song fits. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch, and they get the guy Lurch singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't care for that kind of stuff either. Best score at a flea market for a toy.
Flea or yard sale?
Flea market or yard sale?
Or Goodwill.
I don't know, because we don't find much like that anymore. Not since not for years and years have I found like something really amazing at a flea market or a yard sale.
I don't think I've ever found. I found at Goodwill.
I used to find tons of stuff in the 90s and even in the 2000s when I was still in Topeka. You could find good stuff at the yard sales and flea markets, like a whole bag full of like loose Masters figures and things like that. You could find every once in a while, but now it's just like.
I found a Hordak figure for like 99¢. And I found the Night Stalker. It was loose. It didn't have the tail though, for 99¢ at Goodwill. That's about it. But then you see these videos, and I'm not saying it's not real. I think it can happen. It's just never happened to us.
We just think it's suspicious when it happens 5 times a week
to the same person,
to the same dealer. Yo, I found like these mint on cards sealed like Star Wars figures from 1978. Yo, and I paid like $2 a piece. Yo,
ain't nobody say stuff like
people say yo. And they say hella, and they say fresh. Yo, that be fresh. That's hella good. Dig.
Oh my God! Why do you do this stuff?
The trick is to keep a straight face. Yo, that's hella fresh. Word to your mother. West Side.
Oh my God! You're so embarrassing.
You need to drop that 0 and get you a hero.
Anyway, shame Thundercats didn't get the animated movie in theaters like Transformer. It was broken up into 4 episodes. Yeah, the last part of Transformers did get. I mean, not Transformers. Thundercat did get kind of. I don't like how they did. What's his name? Tigra.
Tigra was the addict.
Yeah, he always got messed up. Out of Time was one of the only times I teared up at a movie. It was when the dog died in I Am Legend. I never saw I Am Legend.
Yeah, well, dude was crying.
Oh yeah, I found great stuff. 2005 to 2012 at Goodwill before they created Goodwill Online.
Yeah, because then anything decent they hold and they ship to their like online stations.
Oh, it was a guilty pleasure called. Yeah. I never saw that. My mom threw away most of my toys. Oh. We were talking about that today.
Rollicon says they're fake. I think so.
Well, I don't know. The one that really gets me is the people that buy out storage lockers, and every storage locker is jam-packed with either toys or comics. Every single one that they buy once a week, they show, oh, I bought out a brand new storage locker, and they go into the storage locker for the first time, and it's wall to wall. Nothing but it's no baby clothes, it's no mattress, it's no bedroom furniture.
You know, every storage locker's got to have at least 3 mattresses minimum.
Never that. It's always top to bottom, front to back, totes full of 70s, 80s, 90s toys.
And if that was the case, you know, people would have recognized what it was.
Out of sight says you need to stop.
I don't have to stop nothing.
You've got that touch. You've got that power.
Yeah, that's right.
One thing about us collectors, we're honest and good people.
Some.
Leaned or swatted. See, you got to pop him upside his head like that. He don't like
I pity the fool.
Oh my God.
I pity the fool. You need to be somebody, or you know what? You need to tease somebody. Oh yeah. That's what we're talking about.
You should talk Batman Beyonds. I always felt bad. The horse died in Never Ending Story. I bet if the horse talked.
He tried to pull him out of that mud. He couldn't do it.
Oh yeah.
He was pulling on the reins, crying.
Megatron under a Bible in a yard sale in Africa.
Yeah. Did you pay 12 cents for it?
Those Storage War episodes are fake.
Yeah.
The guy who yelled, "Yep," on the show. Yeah, that guy. I used to watch that a little bit, but I didn't believe him. Like,
no,
you
fake.
cannot find that much stuff. Maybe once or twice you'll get a locker full of stuff, or not even full. It'll have
Might
like
have
one or two totes, maybe a couple of boxes of comics in there, maybe some video games, something like that. But not once a week. You putting out a brand new video once a week of a storage locker full. Damien on Creed 3 should.
We didn't see 3.
Yeah, we didn't see part 3. We saw 1 and 2. You gotta wait till it come out on some free streaming network. Hey guys, look what I found. Glad I decided to just randomly film the storage locker I bought. That's about how it goes.
No, they all animated about it though, like they're on a game show. It's like, oh yo, guess what? Did I buy this storage locker? Word.
I am so
yo, let's check it out. Know what I'm saying?
I can no longer show my face.
Word to your mother.
Because this is out for the world to see. Hundreds and hundreds of people will see this video and feel so bad for me.
No one's gonna feel bad for you.
My husband is doing whatever he's doing right now, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it but hang my head later on and just cry myself to sleep.
Brolycon found some Power Rangers Megazords at a garage.
Yeah, in 2007.
Yeah.
He didn't find it this week and then next week. And the one that got me, it was this guy. I don't know what his channel is, but from what it sounds like, for work he travels around the country for work. So every time he's in a city, he goes thrift store, yard sales, and to different stores, which is cool because I did that when I used to travel for work. In that city, I would find thrift stores. I would go everywhere. He came to Atlanta and he went to a store that we frequent often. And I know this store, and he did not find that stuff he said he found there.
That's right.
He went in there. I think he said
Book Nook.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Yeah. It was Book Nook.
Because we pop in there all the time. We know the kind of stuff they carry.
And they stuff rarely moves.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah. And then he videotaped it when he was in there. He didn't videotape the stuff he bought in the store. He videotaped it after, but not in the store. And I said, man, that looked like because he said I'm in Atlanta at Book Nook now. Atlanta got like 2. So I'm like, I know that Book Nook because I recognize I can't remember what the figure was, but it was in there literally for months. Yeah. I kept watching it and the prices were so high.
Yeah, on a lot of the figures.
Oh, he was at that Book Nook. Oh, okay, I wonder what he got. I'm looking.
And the stuff.
And I'm like,
that I didn't get from Book Nook.
Dude, you ain't got that from that Book Nook.
No.
And then because he always tells the price. And I'm like, okay, if that was at that Book Nook, they wouldn't have sold it for that price because those other figures they had, you would have bought that too. And they were really high, Mm-hmm. It's like, no. Man can't a millionaire just put all of his most expensive stuff in the storage locker and I paid the rent. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Technically, it could happen.
It could.
Out of Sight wants to know if we're in the 70s. Oh, you're mixing your decades up. If I was in the 70s, I would have been saying like, hey, can you dig it? Can you dig it, brother? But that was like early 90s lingo. That was like Vanilla Ice style lingo.
Yes, you're right. So right. This is now. See, y'all thinking he acting like this right now. That's not true.
Oh, that's
he always act like this.
No, I don't.
I did find Jim. Oh, really, Jim? I remember watching that, but I always remember not liking Jim.
Jim is lame.
When it was out, I remember it being on TV. My cousin, that's like the only cartoon she used to watch.
I can barely remember it, honestly.
I don't remember it well. I remember it hey, Alan, how you doing? I remember it being on. I remember watching it, but I don't remember. I know they were a band. Wasn't there a band? And they were
Yes.
in outer space or something?
No, that's Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space, which
Well,
I used to watch. But no, Jem was on stage. She was a musician.
please remember to check out Alan's channel,
Yeah, Alan
the
has a
Comic
channel.
Collector Geek. If you're into comic books,
Yes.
amazing
Collection.
comic book collection. The man has comic books for days, and he loves to show it. So if you send him a message
on Wednesday
on his comments on Wednesdays, he show that book, and he has gems. Now, Alan is the guy that needs to come to Atlanta and store all of his comics in a storage locker and then not pay.
Yeah, forget
and
all about it.
I will watch it for when he doesn't pay, and then go buy it.
And then like 6 years later, he'll be like, something right on the tip of my mind.
Like, didn't I have a storage locker in Georgia or something?
Oops.
I forgot to pay it. Yep, they sold it and I bought it. I did find a G1 Galactic Man and Stylings, both working and complete at a flea market. Like 10 years ago. The guy only wanted $5 each. I mean, see, when it happens like randomly once in your life, maybe twice, I can go for that. But if you said every week every Saturday I go thrift store shopping, thrift store shopping, yard sale shopping, and I find all of these things every weekend, then I'll be like, no. Best thing I found was Voltron Castle of Lion sealed in 2010. Kept it for years until I sold it. Bought the Rocky collection for 70 days later. I found the same set for 30. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was all scratched up.
It was a movie.
They did a live action film.
Really?
Yeah, because they had Hasbro had to ruin that property too. I think I have seen that.
I didn't see that. I don't. Yeah, PCS. Wow. I never saw they did the wrestling figures for a while, and then they came out with one, and I saw it after it came out, and it didn't look right. Well, who was it? Wasn't it The Undertaker or somebody?
The Undertaker didn't look right.
Yeah,
because everybody else looked spot on. Like when they did the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, and I think Hulk Hogan
and everybody looked. I was like, oh, those are pretty good. And then they came out with the Undertaker. It's like,
it didn't look right.
They didn't
because it was like a torso change out because they changed his clothes. Yeah, there was something weird about it. I think they were doing like torso change outs or something like that. Yeah. But we did have a question on last week Wednesday. We had a live claim sale. Did anyone see that? We were trying to do another one this upcoming Wednesday. Yeah. And we want to, improve it a little bit. So we wanted to get some suggestions.
If anybody here saw that.
Yeah, if anybody saw it or you watch claim sales or participate in claim sales and can give any suggestions on how we could be more successful. Yeah. Watch Firefly and Serenity for the first time recently. It was very okay. They made figures. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Firefly, you talk about that show Firefly.
Yeah, because people really liked that show, and it only lasted a season, and they canceled it, and they wanted them to bring it back for a long time. And it's like, do you really want them to bring it back now after all this time? They'll just screw it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody knew. Nobody knew, Dale.
We talked about that before. If you could go back in time. Yeah. Like about 5 times. You had all the knowledge you have now, and you had money. And when you go, the money would automatically change to that time period, because you got $100 bill a day. It's not the same $100 bill in the 70s. But you would go back and you'll still have $100, but it'll be that year for that time period. And you can go anywhere. You can't talk to your family members or anything, and you can buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you buy? We talked about that. That was good. Have you ever considered selling on Whatnot?
Not really. I've heard a lot of really bad things about Whatnot for sellers, especially new people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go. It goes very badly for new people, and that there's a lot of fees associated. So no, I have not considered that.
Stuart, the claim sale works. You hold up something like this.
Not that though.
Not this. This is an example.
My fire hat.
And you say, this hat is $10. Who claims it? And you say, I claim it for $10. And then we're like, oh, okay, cool. Send us some $10 on PayPal, and we'll
something like that to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah. Funko made some great action figures. Really?
Really? They did Firefly?
Well, I know they did action figures, but I didn't know they did Firefly.
Oh.
I did not knock
you knocked something down. I'm going to have a heart attack.
I heard Whatnot's hard on music.
Yeah. You
have to build up an audience for how?
We don't have that kind of an audience. They're real good to people with a big audience, like who's it, Nerdy Girl or somebody, and then newer people or smaller people end up getting creamed in there.
Yeah. I thought it was fairly derivative. I could see it going for 2 to 3. Yeah, I think you're talking about Firefly, because you said it only went for a season.
Yeah, 1 season.
An underrated gem. Sports cars would be the best investment of the past. Some people are really into sports cars. Gage and DeSoto. I don't know what you're talking about. I probably missed something.
Yeah, you missed something.
Yeah, I missed something.
What's wrong with you? So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we're just doing it on Wednesday. We did it last Wednesday and felt it out a little bit, and we'll do it again this Wednesday.
Yeah.
And try a couple of different things and just see,
Yeah, we're going to put together some bundles.
To try to, he's talking about the people that are on the helmet. Yeah.
Oh.
One Adam 12. My emergency fire hat that I found at the last retro toy swap.
Yeah, we used to get good deals. Now, we'll get good deals when we go to shows, toy swaps, things like that. Yeah. But just regular on yard sales and thrift stores, no. And if you do find something cool at a flea market or thrift store, they want so much.
They're insane.
Or the antique mall, because you'll see a lot of videos about how people found this and that at an antique mall.
And I'm like, yeah, you're lying about what you paid for it, because, man, they put the highest possible markup on that crap at the antique mall. I don't care what they say on those videos. I don't believe it. But like, no, that's impossible.
Yeah, because every time we go, I mean, maybe it's just where we are, or maybe we just got horrible luck.
I've never had luck at a antique mall anywhere. So never. Although the closest I've come is actually that McDonald's coffee mug.
You bought a coffee mug?
Yeah, remember the old Fire King?
No.
Yeah. This one came from an antique mall, because
that ain't nothing to
price,
be on. Like,
the price on that wasn't bad. It would have been more if I had bought it on eBay. So I was, and that's classic. That's the 70s right there. So yeah, I went ahead and grabbed it. But aside from that, the occasional little thing like that, you don't have any luck. I don't.
Oh yeah, Ridley, in the scenario we were talking about, you can go in the past as far back as you want. So if you wanted to go to 1920, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you could go back. You go back at the age you are now, with the knowledge you have, with the money you have. And the only difference is the money a change. Because like you said, yeah, if you go back in, 2010, 2000, the money nobody will probably notice. But if you took that money back to
74,
1960, 50, people are going to pick that up. But we had talked about it for a long time on one of the live streams. We were talking about that. What would you get and where would you go? And somebody said they would go to Japan, to the toy stores in Japan, buy up all of the Japanese toys in Japan. I would go and get the Transformers. I would get all of the G-Zero Transformers, the Diaclones and everything.
Yeah, because those the Japanese ones are insanely expensive.
I don't remember the Firefly. I remember.
I think I do remember had, Firefly now.
Yeah, I know they had action figures, just not Firefly. But I think if they had stuck with the action figures, they probably would have did well because the action figures weren't bad. Now I know they got in trouble with those Savage Worlds, like with the when they did the
DC.
Not the DC, when they did the like they had like Freddy and Jason and they all had that Masters of the Universe body.
It was when they did the DC line because they also had a castle and everything.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, you're going too far.
That was the nail in the coffin for that. And they got in trouble with Hasbro.
Yeah, yeah. But I like those. I got the Thundercats one and I got the ones for the horror figure ones. I remember scoring old video games and toys off Craigslist.
You don't do stuff off Craigslist anymore. If you, yeah, Craigslist is like scam alley now. It's a mess.
Yeah. With the rising prices of action figures, dioramas I have seen has increased. Even the not so good looking dioramas are expensive. That's why I make my own wood or cardboard.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that out of by carving out foam too.
Yeah, I've seen in video some people at some of the conventions. They set up their dioramas. I usually ask them, what they make it out of and how long it took and stuff like that. And it's usually foam and other stuff.
Yeah,
like that. But the majority of the videos that I've seen on YouTube, people make their own dioramas, but we also see people selling the dioramas
kits,
at show. Yeah, the kits. And the kits look good, but you don't really do anything. I think it'll be more fun if you put it together yourself, carve it out and set it up. But you got to have skill for that. Do you need a Hardee's Rise and Shine mug too?
He says, David, you need a Hardee's.
Yeah, you need one.
Or some of those old like McDonald's ashtrays.
Yeah, the glass ones, the brown ones.
They had the glass one, and then in the 80s they had the metal one that was like brass colored.
Yeah, skill and imagination. Yeah, a lot of skill and a lot of imagination.
Goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next one?
Now,
there's 2 coming up.
You got Joe Fest. Joe Fest is coming up, and that's in Augusta. That one is good. It's in the vein of Toy Lanta and Joe Lanta.
Yes.
It's like the same feel. Joe Lanta is coming up in August.
Yeah.
And that's in Marietta. But the closest one is in June, and that's in Augusta, and that's Joe Fest.
Joe Fest.
Yeah. And again, that one, is about the same as Joe Lanta, Toy Lanta, because it's a bunch of G.I. Joe, and you get a lot of the older, more vintage stuff. And it's 3 days. Yeah, it is 3 days. It's 3 days.
Because they have like a Friday early showing, because that's a popular thing now. Like 6 to 8 on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday all day.
Yeah.
If you can't get the cash back, you need to steal it. You have to fill up that shopping cart and rush.
No.
And you'd have to really rush, because back then they will tackle you. It's not like nowadays they're like, sir, the thing is beeping. We need to. No, they will kick your ass in the 70s.
Gilgamesh want to know, is there a way to tell if something is a facsimile edition?
I think you posted that. I didn't get a chance to answer yet. The facsimile edition should have a marking. If it's been done by the company, it should have a professional marking on it somewhere. Even if it's just in the the descriptor on the bottom of the first page, and it'll tell you if it's a reprint edition or a second print or something like that. And the dead giveaway for modern ones is the barcode.
Yeah, the barcode. But we saw something recently.
Yeah.
Yesterday. This person on Facebook posted a post to sell Hulk 181. They copied the book. So they did high-end copying. They said in the description that they have a printing press and that they scanned the book and they copied it front to back. Everything is copied to include the inserts. Yeah. I guess it's some special inserts.
It's real expensive though. The guy charges a lot
$400 for it. Now, to his credit, he does explain very well that you are getting a copied book. It's not an authorized copied book, but it is a copied book.
Yeah.
So, and then something else that we see often, because I watch some comic things, and this one guy, he had a book. I can't remember what book it is. What did he do? He glued the page together or something. I know what he did. He had a page that he wanted to add to the book.
Oh, you're talking about that first appearance of the Hobgoblin?
I don't know what it was.
The one where he kept resubmitting it?
Yeah. He took the staples, opened up the staples, took out the center page because the center page wasn't right, and he put in a good center page.
No, what it was is
he did something.
He was turning it into a Mark's Jewelers variant, because the Mark's Jeweler variant had an insert extra that was in the center.
Right.
So he took one out of a crappy book and they call it marrying.
Oh, marrying.
Married it into first appearance of the Hobgoblin and submitted it. But CGC caught it and they gave him a green label.
They caught it twice.
Because he took it out, worked on it again, and resubmitted it. And he got a green label the second time. Took it out of the slab again, worked on it again, and sent it back. And the third time was the charm. They missed it. And he got a 9 for Mark's Jeweler variant out of it.
Yeah. And the thing is, when he sells that book, because this guy is a reseller, you are not doing all that if you're not trying to resell the book. He's a reseller. He's going to sell that book and not tell you he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just wrong. That's messed up. But, you got shitty people out there, and you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
What's the best one? Again, out of the 3, all of them are on par with each other.
Yeah.
So,
because you see a lot of the Joe stuff at Toylanta.
Yeah. Because it's on all 3 of them, it's usually the same dealers, really, because the area is close enough. I mean, Augusta is like an hour and a half away from Atlanta. So you got, a lot of the same dealers, plus some from South Carolina and stuff like that.
I want to say more so, Joe Fest is more geared towards a raw, and that Joe Lanta is more geared towards the 60s and 70s product.
I'm from Minnesota. Oh yeah, you ain't about to do nothing way up there, not unless you're gonna fly down.
You might.
You can do like that guy did at the show we went to Saturday. He came all the way from Oklahoma to sell his comic books. He's a comic book dealer.
Yeah.
And came all the way from Oklahoma.
He never understood Crazy Phone.
No.
I can answer that, Broly.
Oh, yeah.
Cartoon sells G.I. Joe, Transformers, never seen one at a con. They didn't throw them away. And I've talked about this before. Back when I used to work with Great Eastern Conventions in the early 90s, right? In the early 90s, dealers at the comic shows used to have cases of that stuff. Animation sells from all kinds of cartoons, pages, like boxes full of original art panel pages. They couldn't give that shit away then. Nobody cared. The animation cells, you could buy them for $5 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
The art page is like $10, $20, and nobody cared about that. Now you can't find them at all.
No.
So somebody scooped them all up one day, I guess.
Yeah.
And now they're like insanely expensive. But that used to be a pretty common thing in shows.
I like the Bee Gees. Do you
Yep.
have any wrestlers?
I got
He got a ton of wrestling autographs.
No, I've got
oh, you mean that?
I have this.
I got a bunch of wrestling
Toy
figures.
Sheet gave me that.
Yeah.
He watches this channel. He sent that to the P.O. box.
Yeah. I have a bunch of wrestling figures. I used to have them on display, and I took them all down because I got a bunch. There's a special place in hell for resellers in between social media influencers and people who talk at the theater.
You know what's funny is those are always the same people that say, I don't like the term influencer.
But I mean,
you are. I mean, because like if we sat there and we said, for example, we went to the Alabama show yesterday, and we thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
Now somebody sees that, and the next time the show comes around, they'll be like, "Hey, last time, Open by Chance, they said it was a good show. Maybe I'll check it out."
Yeah.
We just influenced those people, but we're giving an honest opinion. We're not getting paid to do it. We're not trying to manipulate the market.
Because when we don't like, we shall say we don't like, and we'll tell you why we don't like something. But again, you got to make decisions for yourself. But no, I don't like how, and you see it in action figures, in toys and comics. I think it's more in comics though. How people just cheat you, and it's like you will see people, they'll open up the slab and switch the books out and try to seal it back up, and they'll sell it. They do all kind of weird things to these books and try to sell it at top dollar to trick CGC and these other grading companies. They get higher grades. I've seen people that say, there's one channel, and I quit watching his channel. I have zero respect for this guy.
Without saying it, because we're trying to create a feud here.
But the guy, he sits on the channel and say, I take the staples out, I take out every page, and he'll get several of the same book, and he'll switch the pages out so they can be better pages. And he'll put it back together. And sometimes CGC catches it, and sometimes they don't. And then he's mad because they caught it. And it's like, how can you be mad when you're trying to cheat the system? You know, I mean, I understand everybody want to make money. Fine, I'm all about capitalism. I'm all about people making money, but
don't deceive anybody.
Don't lie and cheat and deceive people and steal it, and then you want to act like you're this honest, great seller, and you're not. You're a lying cheat, and you don't mind stealing from people to make a few extra dollars. Lone Wolf, has an awesome store.
Oklahoma.
Oh, Lone Wolf, Oklahoma has an awesome store. Okay.
There's Reston.
Hey, Reston, how you doing?
What's that?
I got super lucky and got the new DC Universe. Wow, 89 figure. I know people have been having an insane time finding it. Wow. I haven't seen any of the new, the McFarlane Batman stuff, like the Batmobile and the Batmobile, and it's something else, some other vehicle that was supposed to come out. I haven't seen any of that stuff. Yes, I have a lot of them. I haven't seen any of that stuff.
What you mean on stage or in real life? I think Macho Man had a beef with everybody. It's just his personality.
Yeah.
He was a weird guy.
Yeah. I like Macho Man, though. I think he was funny. I think he had the best promos.
Yeah, he had some of the best promo spots. That was great. His shoots and and then having him with George Animal Steel, because I like George Animal Steel. George Steel was funny. The two of them when they had their rivalry, and then there was the whole bit with he was supposed to grab Miss Elizabeth and run off with her, like Beauty and the Beast kind of scenario. And McMahon was all excited about it, and he didn't want that guy running around carrying Miss Elizabeth.
Oh wow. The new Star Wars figures at his store was all crushed. Looked like somebody ran them over. I thought it was just damage and
Oh
shipping.
no, they print them looking distressed.
Yeah, but he said the boxes were crushed and bent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, but they have that distressed look, like it's a vintage card that didn't make it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. The Batmobile, the new one.
The new one. I
Yeah.
haven't been to GameStop in a long time.
Yeah,
I
there's no
don't
reason to
like
go.
seeing Keaton in the black utility belt.
Oh, he wants the big gold one.
Oh, he got a black utility belt
Yeah.
now?
Well, it's been 30 years or however long, right?
I
So,
don't understand how he's playing that because in Flashpoint it was Thomas Wayne. So is he playing Thomas Wayne or is he playing Bruce Wayne Batman?
yeah, because if
I don't
they're doing the
understand.
Flashpoint storyline, it should be his father. But I don't know what they're doing. We didn't see it anyways. Did it even come out yet? Did the film come out? I don't even
I
know
don't know.
because
I
it
don't have
seems
a
like you
clue.
don't even care anymore about the
But I
cinema.
mean, but the thing that confuses me with these movies, people start showing you clips and talking about it months before, and they talk about it like it's out.
Like it's
So
out.
I always think, oh, the movie's out, and then you see something. Oh yeah, they just dropped the first trailer. I'm like, they did. You've been talking about this for months now. You've been showing clips. So how can they just show the first trailer? So I don't know if that movie's out or not. I mean, I don't know. I don't care to see it. The only way I'll see it is if it came out free
The
somewhere.
only reason anybody wants to see it now is because of the Keaton Batman.
Oh yeah, he got blonde hair.
Does he?
Well, his hair's probably gray.
That could be.
Sometimes you get gray and they look kind of blondish.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, you know how like it seems like you don't even care about the theater anymore. The movies are disappointing, and
Man.
it's just sad how that's all worked out.
Only thing I'm excited to see, and I'll go to the theater to see it,
But
is the
what's that?
new Joker. When the
Oh,
new Joker movie comes out and the new Batman movie comes out, the
but
Batman.
they're gonna have they're doing Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but if
I'm
they
just like,
do it, I mean, it might not be bad. Actually, I've seen Lady Gaga before. Her acting ain't bad,
yeah.
and I don't know.
I just
I
don't.
hope they don't screw it up, but I want to see it because I like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
Um, it seemed like they could do a lot with it. It sounds like it's going to take place in Arkham, the entire thing. So they might make it where she comes in as a psychiatrist and then, falls in love and do all of that. It could be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose. I don't know. Yeah.
Gilgamesh said he knows it's out once he see the DVD at
Yeah,
Walmart.
because they released it like a week later. That used to be a big deal during the era of VHS. They used to delay that for years.
Yeah.
Some of you may not be old enough to remember, if a movie came out, you'd wait 2-3 years before it came out on VHS because they did not want it to, in any way to interfere with the movie theater. Like when Star Wars came out or Indiana Jones came out, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark was in the theaters for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, it was still available. You could still go to the theaters and see it that much longer after. And that's how films were, unless they just sucked.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working. If it was a blockbuster film like Star Wars or E.T. or Close Encounters or something like that that really took off, it could be in the theater for 2+ years. And then when the VHS market was taken off because Betamax didn't make it, but when VHS started really taking off, they were like, well, no, we don't want people to be able to buy it and put it on, have it on cassette or to see it on television because TV would do the like Monday night movie of the week or something like that
Sunday
sometimes.
movie.
I
Yeah.
remember even when Star Wars was on, I think ABC, it was a huge big deal that they were able to get the contract, but it wasn't for years after the film had been out. They knew where the bread and butter was. Nowadays, it's like, damn, the DVD's out. Like it's streaming sometimes the same day that it's in the theaters.
Yeah.
The DVD's out a week later.
Yeah.
It's like nobody cares anymore. And it's funny because oh God, what is that guy's name? Mel Brooks predicted it. Mel Brooks predicted that in Spaceballs, which was a parody of, a lot of you probably know that film, a parody of Star Wars, where they were trying to, they wanted to check something. And he was like, well, let me pop the film in and see. And he was like, which film? This one. And he was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, it's so advanced now. You can actually get it on VHS as it's being filmed. And he put the disc in and they fast forwarded. And then he was like, where's this now? And he's looking at the back of his head on the screen. And he turns and he's looking like this. Mel Brooks was ahead of his time there.
Robert wants another Mars Attacks movie.
Oh, yeah, but not make it funny, huh?
Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn is excellent. Hoping they do another Suicide Squad.
I never saw Suicide Squad.
I don't know. Gaga is pretty psycho. Harley Quinn should be natural.
Maybe.
But she did go, Harley Quinn did go kind of psycho, but the way that the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is, the Harley Quinn has to be on par. So she can't be too outrageous.
Yeah.
So
she can't be a circus act.
Yeah. So if they do, you can be psycho like Joaquin Phoenix was. He was psycho, but not like Mark Hamill Joker, or even what's his name? Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah.
You know, they were more like kind of,
everybody's done it differently.
Yeah, done it differently.
But oddly enough, everybody did a great job, with the exception of Jared Leto. A lot of people did not like Jared Leto's, but I can't really speculate on it because I didn't see it. You know, so I only have to say, all I can say is a lot of people didn't like his performance. But you know, even going back as far as Cesar Romero in the 60s Batman, Cesar Romero as the Joker was hilarious. He did a great job on that character. He loved it.
Yeah, but I mean Harley Quinn. I mean, I just hope that she do a good job.
I've never really liked any of the other incarnations of Harley Quinn outside of Batman the Animated Series, though myself.
Yeah, that Harley Quinn was good.
I like that.
I mean, it was the original one because she was made for the show.
Best thing to do, Reston, is not even have one. If you know, word of mouth can be pretty good sometimes. And if you watch some of the older trailers for vintage movies, they don't really show you too much.
Those trailers used to be like 5 minutes.
You get the old ones.
I don't know.
You get a feel for it. Now they're 2 minutes plus.
Yeah, they show you half the movie.
But back then, it was enough time for a commercial, 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you got a feel for it, like even on The Thing, Carpenter's The Thing. Watch the old trailer for that. It's like 28 seconds long, and it's just showing scenes and dudes standing in the snow and stuff like that, and you just get a creepy feel from it, but you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
you know.
Big Bird.
What kind of question is that?
I know. Waiting for it to come to cable back in the day wasn't always the best, because then you had the edited.
That's true too.
Unless it came on like HBO and stuff.
Plus, also they'd crop it, so you can't get a cinematic experience.
Yeah, Jaws played for a long time.
Yeah.
How's a Raw collection coming? That's the next big toy you'd like to get for the collection.
Actually, I don't want the flag yet because I have nowhere to put it.
Hey, Patrick.
I would really like to be able to get the Defiant.
Yeah, that spaceship. You've been going on about that spaceship.
Yeah, the Defiant would be great, but you know, it is what it is.
I don't know if it'll be like Bonnie and Clyde, because again, from my understanding of the movie, they're gonna be in Arkham the whole time.
Watch them be like that couple from Pulp Fiction. Get their money, honey bunny. Remember at in the diner?
No, because I don't remember Pulp Fiction that well. I remember bits and pieces. That movie, I still don't really know what it was about. Justice League Snyder Cut.
I didn't see the Snyder Cut either. I didn't see the Justice League film.
The tale of a man with severe mental health issues and using it to justify his action. It'll be interesting to see Quinn be a good match for that in the supportive way. Yeah, that's. But from my understanding, they already shot like 6 endings because they don't want
people to be able to figure it out.
Yeah, the teaser trailer before the trailer is utterly pointless. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Mark. There. I was we were talking about your video today. If y'all haven't seen it, check out
Toy Chic also has a channel.
Yeah, and today he did a Mother's Day video, and we were both talking about Mother's Day and what our mothers collect. My mama, I don't remember her collecting anything. I mean, she had a lot of stuff, but I don't think she actually collects like. I know she ain't had no toys. I know that didn't happen. But she just had stuff.
I'll be calling you out again, Toy Chic, because I got another challenge coming up. But this one, I don't think anyone's done this one. I had an idea. I had a brainstorm, and so I'm going to be doing a challenge here, probably in a week or two.
Yeah, and
I'm probably going to call you out again because I think you do a good job with it.
Yeah, but yeah, check out his channel. The Mother's Day question was pretty good, and something else we talked about because you actually had some toys from your childhood, and we were talking about toys we have from our childhood.
So and don't reveal too much about what I'm going to do.
Well, no, I was just talking about what we talked about today, watching Mark's channel. And I know David has like one toy from his childhood. And I have like none. I have a record that I bought as a kid, and then like a bed sheet that I still have. A blanket for the bed that I still have. But yeah, that was a good video. Another one, remember the old day newspaper show movie posters?
Yeah, and when they had a film section that had all the local theaters listed that would tell you what was playing and what times. Do they even do that anymore in the newspaper? I don't think so.
They don't have newspapers anymore. All you got to do is type it into Google, and then it'll show you all of the movie theaters in your area and the time the movies come out.
Yeah, Jeff, we don't get good writing anymore is the problem. They rely so heavily on the CGI, and they throw it at you as fast as you can, so you don't have a chance to think about what's going on.
We were watching a movie today, Bad Moon, and it was a werewolf movie, and the way that they used like an animation to transform the guy. But it was still good because they still had to do a lot of work to get the transformation done.
Because it's an older film.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that old. I think it came out. Oh, yeah, it was like 96 or something.
Yeah, it was in the 90s film.
Yeah.
It was early in the era of CGI.
But it was a good movie, though.
Because when they only used it a little bit, it was fine. Like Terminator 2. They only animated the guy morphing. That's it. The rest of it was all done with physical stunts and special effects. Like when they blew up the office building, they really blew up an office building for that scene.
Yeah,
they don't do stuff like that anymore. And you can, no matter how good it is, you could tell it's green screen.
Yeah,
after you've been watching that for years, you start to your brain starts to be able to filter that.
Yeah, the Joker, the story, well, it was a good story. It had good writing, and now I don't know who these writers are, because it seemed like before the writers had to be able to write. Now I don't know what they're doing. I mean, the conversation is just like ridiculous. It's like, who talks like that?
Yeah.
Who says these things? It's just outrageous.
Yeah, the dialogue is so adolescent.
Okay, thank you, Cosme, for coming by.
Okay.
Oh, you're a school teacher. Go teach those little babies. Do you have any Mark? Oh, yeah, David. Oh, the Mark's 10 toys. No, not 10.
I don't have any Mark's.
He got that Mark Safari.
Yeah, I got the Mark Safari. I got the Attributos Dynamicals. I the check is in the mail. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking necks and cashing checks. That's what I'm all about.
Don't start that bad up. Mark, please don't start him up. You missed it earlier. He was on a rampage.
I've got the Mark's Disneykins display back there from 1961.
Oh, Nomsky saw Bad Moon.
And I've got the Mark's. It's also 1961, I think. The Batcraft. You know, it's odds and ends, but nothing like. I don't have any tin.
Nice change of pace if you're a horror fan. Evil Dead Rising.
I
never heard of Evil Dead Rising. I don't think practical effects and sets are better. Yeah.
Come on, like watch RoboCop. All the squibs.
Yeah.
Those as opposed to digital squibs.
You know the one I think about, the one we saw. I can't remember the name now, but with Angela Lansbury. And they
the werewolf film?
The werewolf film. And then they showed
the transformations were nuts.
Yeah, but every werewolf transformed a different way. But they showed you the entire transformation.
Because a different person was telling the story, so the transformation looked different. And a couple of them, I think it was like three, right? 3 transformations?
I think so.
But each, two of them were done in a way I had never seen before. You never saw anything like a werewolf transformation like that before. It was all like was just pointed out there, practical effects. Exotic Car says, like the one guy, he grabs it on and he just starts tearing off his skin, and you can see all the muscle and sinew underneath it. It's like, holy crap, what's going on? And then he starts transforming from under that, and it's like, wow, okay, that's nuts.
Yeah.
But that had to be a model, and they had to get it right the first time, or else it'd be a week rebuilding that mess.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's just incredible. I can't remember the name of that one.
I don't remember it, but we've talked about it before, but it has Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
So if you look up and it's a tale of Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, it's like a
retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, but it's really good.
Yeah.
And it's because it takes you a minute to even figure out that it's a Little Red Riding Hood story. You know, you in the story before you figure out, like, whoa, this is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. It's actually really good.
Company of Wolves.
Oh, Company of
Wolves. The Company of Wolves, 1984.
I remember Blade Runner, lots of effects, and the writing matched the quality of effects. The new Dune reminds me of the first Blade Runner. But see, the thing that gets me with modern films, but you see it everywhere. Modern music, modern writing, modern films and TV shows. In movies and TV shows, they had the bill sets, like we're watching Space 1999, and every time they change the
sets are
room,
insane.
Yeah, they had to build those sets. Movies, they built sets, they did the animation or the special effects. They had people for that. If you did an animated movie, you had to draw out each cell. But then the advent of computers, now we got rid of all of our animators. Now we got CGI. We don't build sets anymore. We just rent out a warehouse and put up green cloth all over the place.
And then when you see the film without that, because you know it's out there, it looks absolutely stupid.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. And when I saw it, I think I saw one of the Guardians of the Galaxies. I lost like all the
magic.
Yeah, of the movie was just
you see a guy in a green jumpsuit is standing in front of a big green, like 30-foot high screen, talking to a piece of paper hanging from a string. It just, the magic's gone. You know, it's like
that's all we can do. Really, I mean, why are they on strike? They're not writing good quality stuff. They want more money, and all they're doing is producing garbage. So you want me to pay you more so you can put out more garbage.
Yeah.
You know, I can see if you're writing good quality, stellar stuff that, I mean, the Oscar people will have a tough time picking. what are we? I mean, yeah, they got a hard time picking now because everything is just garbage. It's like, what's the worst? What's the best of the worst garbage
that's
that we
become
have?
like a pat on the back, like a pat on the back behind closed doors, handshake.
Yeah, but I'm saying
But
at least if everything was stellar and you had a hard time, you could say, okay, yeah, I can see that that movie was good, and people could sit down and debate which movie was better, even though you shook some hands and paid some money to get your reward. You can still say that was a good movie with great performance, great writing, great cinematography, great design set, good acting. Now, the writing is bad, cinematography is bad, the acting is bad. You got people from the local theater. This is nothing stellar, but they get a reward every year.
Yeah.
I was a kid. My dad wrapped my lunch sandwich in newspaper. The day after that, I wrapped my own lunch in foil. As a writer myself, I value the art of writing, but I think a lot of writers can just be smug and think they aren't expendable. I
you
think
really know it when they attack their audience for not liking their stuff. Instead of sitting there and saying, "Where did I miss the mark?" They say, "No, it's because of you."
Yeah, it's always somebody else's fault, and that's what the world we live in now. Nothing is that person's fault. It's everybody else's fault. So nobody takes responsibility, and society tells you it's not your fault, it's somebody else's. So there we are. Do you have any creatures from the black? Yeah, I have the Mondo creature from the Black Lagoon. They were doing the Universal Monsters, and I was hoping that they were going to continue with it.
Don't you have the figures one?
Oh yeah. Figures, because I got the creature from the Black Lagoon from that because I was trying to get the Universal Monsters. They're on strike because of these writers live in very liberal, where the cost, but still, their work is not worth it. I mean, come on now, talk about the movies and TV shows from the last 10 years. You can say okay, I won't say not like all of them, because like the Joker and the Batman I thought were great, but the majority of them aren't worth it. Yeah. My mom was telling me about these kids she saw listening to some rap song about sex. My mom showed me the song and we were laughing. They're discussing how vulgar.
Yeah, that modern stuff, and I don't even know how they associate it with like a lot of these car commercials and stuff. You hear a hook from a song, and it's like, what is that song? And then you go and you look it up just to see what it is and read the lyrics, and it's like, holy crap, what is this from, like a porno?
I actually do it. If I see a song on a commercial, I'm like, what is this song even about? Or sometimes you might know the song because they always remake something, or you'll get like a hook from it. I'll look it up and read the words and like, what does that have to do with a car or deodorant or whatever they're trying to sell you? And it's just like ridiculous because they don't write jingles anymore. No, that was another big thing.
They swipe a hook out of a song and they take it out of context,
way out of context.
Like Cat Stevens' Wild One. Mm-hmm. They had there was a car commercial that had that with the giant baby. Remember, and it's like, "Ooh, baby, baby, you're the wild one." And then, but if you know that song, that's a pretty sad song. Yeah. Why are but you've got a baby walking around and you're promoting an SUV. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make any sense if you know the song. Yeah. Well, maybe most people don't, but
they're counting on you to not know the song.
Yeah, they're counting on you to not know what the hell it is.
But before, and most people can remember jingles.
Own original music for that specific product.
Yeah, but you can remember jingles. I bet you some of you can remember the Double Mint commercial, the Juicy Fruit, the Burger King, Oscar Mayer. Yeah. Because
McDonald's.
Yeah. When we do those vintage commercials, you're like, oh man, I remember that, and you're singing along. Yeah. Because the jingle sold the item. Now they got these raunchy, nasty songs. I looked up a few, like that one with Post Malone and Doritos. I was like, what is this about? And I pulled up that. I'm like, what? These words don't even make sense. Did you hear about the
quiet? He means quiet quitting trend.
Oh yeah,
Dumb kids acting lazy at work because they want more money. That's what they call that, the working your wage. But you're not. You're not working your way, or actually you are, because you deserve less if you're not going to provide any input.
They're on strike because they want to get paid more. Streaming pays.
Oh, streaming pays them
different
on contract. Oh,
they want to know companies. Now the AI gonna write the film. I don't know. Like we said before, we got movies and TV shows on DVD. Yeah. And we watch that. I mean, we do watch some streaming stuff. We'll pull stuff up. Some older shows, some new stuff we'll pull up. If the first episode catches us, or at least the first 20 minutes, we might continue watching it. But if making TV shows and movie, I don't think it'll bother me, because half of it's ridiculous anyway. Why is that doing that?
I don't know, because computers are paying the butt.
What's your favorite monster toy?
You have a favorite monster toy? That we have, or that we would like to have?
I know. Okay, my favorite monster. I really like Swamp Thing. That's like one of my favorite characters, and I do have the Swamp Thing, some Swamp Thing stuff.
Yeah.
And I like the Universal monsters. I like about nearly all of those, the Universal monsters. So I like those. I like what Sideshow did with the Twilight Zone and Outer Limits, because they did some of the popular characters from Outer Limits and the popular characters from Twilight Zone. They did those, and Sideshow also did the Universal monsters. Why are
the model kit ones?
I don't know what AHI.
You mean the vintage ones, the model kits, because a lot of them got built.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Inhumanoids. I like my Grey Gory. Grey Gory, the vampire bat. Godzilla, obviously.
My fear is they will abolish old movies on DVD and Blu-ray. That's why you better get it now.
Yeah.
That's
all I gotta do is shut it off.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't bought a DVDs in a while, but we got a lot of DVDs.
Yes.
And the ones we got is fine.
And we prefer watching the vintage stuff, so that fits us. That fits us just fine.
Mm-hmm. And then some of the streaming networks have vintage shows on it, like In the Heat of the Night and Matlock and stuff like that. We'll watch, but you better get all of that stuff now before it gets weird, and then you can't stream anymore. You get your records and your CDs and DVDs and all of that stuff. Black and white movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s will be unavailable.
Yeah, and generations move away from that because they associate it with previous generations as well. Like, that's why, who's watching silent films anymore? Who's watching stuff from the 30s and 40s anymore? Hardly anybody.
I don't like silent films because I don't like reading the subtitles. And I don't
There's a couple that are really good, like Foolish Wives is a really good silent film. Or Metropolis, obviously, is a really good silent film.
Yeah, I actually have that in the queue to watch, and I keep forgetting to watch it. Mm-hmm. But I actually have that in the queue. And the ones from the 30s and 40s, they always got that constant background music playing. That's annoying.
That's a throwback from the silent movie era, though.
The constant music.
They would play music over it, so it wouldn't be dead silent in the audience.
Yeah.
So somebody would be there playing the piano or something like that.
I can see that in the silent film.
Yeah, and that's just it stayed with the transition for a little while, and then they got away from that. But now they're back to it again, where there's just constant music.
But it's loud.
It's so freaking loud. It's like sometimes you can't even hear the dialogue.
I have like 10 Godzilla bendies from the 78 In the heat of the night.
Yeah. You gotta sing it in scat though, because that guy scats throughout the whole show. You know, transition doo 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 doo. Shooby wah.
In the heat of the night is good. You do gotta hear that scat though. There was a German DVD steelbook Spider-Man trilogy set at the Thrift the other day for $5. I hesitated on it for 3 days. This guy grabbed it, and I
don't hesitate. You gotta hold it in your hand.
But the one thing I learned about thrift stores, if you see something and you kind of want it, you need to just go ahead and get it. Because if you come back tomorrow, it's gone.
Ridley, he can't remember. You don't expect him to remember nothing, do you?
But
the Pizza Hut guy gave him an employee cheat sheet when he asked him the special because he didn't know. Once upon a time, you go and you ask in a restaurant, any restaurant, the special, and they told you. Yeah, he says, Nosferatu is another good one. And so is the remake. Nosferatu had a remake in the 70s. I think it was like 1973 as a German film, but it is available in English, and it's really freaking good.
Oh, yeah.
But also to add to the silent films, Foolish Wives. Foolish Wives is really good. It's got a surprise ending.
Reston says Harold Lloyd stuff is a good silent film.
Okay.
He stood there speechless with his hat sideways, wearing a gold chain, and then grabbed the manager. The manager knew exactly what I wanted and told me that's special.
Gold chain, huh?
I like some old black and white movies, film noir stuff. Noir.
Yeah, some of them are pretty good.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
That's right. That was only in the first episode.
No,
that he said that.
He took that from what's his name
from
though?
The film.
Yeah, from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the show actually got better.
Yeah, the show
as it
show improved.
Yeah, Virgil's still on there right now. I know he's gonna leave the show because he got a bad alcohol problem in real life.
He was an addict, and it got to be too much. You know what my favorite aspect of the show is?
What?
Chief Gillespie's sidearm. It makes no sense. Who remembers? He carries a cannon. It's like he literally, and it's facing the wrong way, and it's way up on his belt. He has like this big chrome, like 50 caliber Desert Eagle. It's like this freaking big, hanging on his side, and it's holstered in reverse, so he has to reach across and get it, and pulls it out, and he stands there holding this cannon. And it's like, dude. And before that, it was like this huge, like Dirty Harry 44 Magnum, like competition pistol that was like 18 inches long or something. It's like, dude, seriously, take a look at, if you ever watch Heat of the Night, look at Chief Gillespie's gun, Carol O'Connor. What's that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, he's half the battle.
Yeah, the other half is losing. No. No. It's okay. We've all done that. Toy Chic. We've all hesitated. That's why we have that rule.
Yeah, we got a rule
at the shows.
Well, you can't do it at a show. You can only do it in the store.
You can do it at a show.
No, you can't.
Yeah, if you're at a toy show and you pick that up, pick something up.
But you can't move. But in the store,
yeah, you can walk around with it in the cart.
Yeah, in the cart.
But if you're at a show and you pick something up, you pick this up, and then you're like, let me think about this, and you set it down and you start looking on your phone. What's this worth? Is this a good price?
Then I come along and grab it.
Because somebody saw you put that down. That's how I got that Maskatron. Because I got the Maskatron from the toy show last year. They didn't even know it was there until I pulled it out. I just saw the edge of the box sticking out from somewhere, and I was like, "That's a $6 million man figure." And I yanked it out. It was Maskatron. And then some people were like, "Is that a Maskatron? Where the hell did he find that?" If I had put that down, it would have been done.
Yeah.
But it was a really good price.
You got any Remco figures from the 80s?
No, I do. I no longer have any Remco. I used to have the Remco 3 3/4 inch monster figures on the card. I had a set of those, and I had a couple of the those Remco. What do you call them? Like Masters of the Universe knockoff weird looking figures. Oh, Ridley, young adults with disposable income.
Who needs a blue? What do you do with a Bluetooth washing machine?
They don't have a disposable income. They're all borrowing it. That's why they have all these apps now where you can borrow against your paycheck before you even get it.
Yeah.
They all broke. Don't knock nothing else down.
See, nothing down the first
you
time.
attacked my Godzilla.
But my thing with the refrigerator, with the internet and the Bluetooth, you got the stove. The stove got the Bluetooth and the internet.
It's stupid.
The washing machine. What do you need that for?
Why do you need a refrigerator with a screen on it that shows you a picture of what's in the damn refrigerator?
All you have to do is open the door.
Or you can't remember?
That's what everybody been doing since refrigerators was there.
You just poured yourself a bowl of cereal yesterday. You didn't remember there's only that much milk left in there? And you need Alexa to tell you that you need to buy more milk? Is that what it is? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh. But I mean, society is just creating worthless people, and they're creating them lazy. I mean, how many times do you need to open your refrigerator to know what's in there? Who needs a Bluetooth on their washing machine? What is that going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. We saw something. Wasn't it a vacuum cleaner that had Wi-Fi? It was something. We took a picture of it in Aldi's. It was some kind of appliance.
It was a vacuum cleaner,
something that connects to Wi-Fi.
It had a Wi-Fi receiver to alert you when the cup was full. The cup's transparent.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can't look at it and see that it's got dust in it.
But even if it wasn't, it should be a habit. Okay, I just vacuumed.
Let me take a look.
The whole house. I need to empty this.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because I was raised cleaning, and I still clean up.
I know.
I just have certain things. I don't know. It just feels like we're getting dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
And society is just making people stupid.
Yeah, a lot of this equipment doesn't last as well as it used to either, Nomsky. That's correct.
Yeah, you had a washing machine as a kid. You still had it as an adult. I mean, TVs last forever. Refrigerators. How often did people buy refrigerators?
If you get a cathode, and I know a lot of thrift stores won't take them anymore, but if you find cathode ray televisions in a thrift store, they'll still work. Flat screens don't last. I wanted to say something about what Ridley had up there.
Oh, okay.
It's real quick here. It says all the smart technology. Here's your definitive point.
Mm-hmm.
I should get a nickel every time somebody says it here. The reason they call it smart technology is because they think you're all stupid. Okay? It's as simple as that. They either think you're stupid or they want you to be. So that's why it has to be smart, because you, the consumer, are not. That's the attitude.
When I went to buy my last stove, the guy was trying to tell me about the Wi-Fi capabilities it has.
Yeah.
I asked him is dumb enough to operate the stove remotely. I mean, the only thing I care about on the stove is it a self-cleaning oven. I mean, I can clean it, but that self-cleaning feature is great. That's all. I had a stove and I actually used it. It did have a timer for the oven, so you can put the food in there and then time it to come on at a certain time so it can be cooking. So when you get home from work, it's about done. I thought that was a good, useful feature.
Yeah.
Outside, I don't need to be at work and pull up something on my phone to say start the oven up. I don't need that. All I wanted to do is self-clean, period. Because I don't like using the easy off because it makes you cough. So, self-cleaning oven, great. I feel the closest thing I have to Sergeant Rock movie is Combat TV show.
That wasn't a bad show.
Young adults
or Rat Patrol.
Yeah.
Or was it Garrison's Gorillas? There was a few shows like that, especially in the 60s.
There's an app for everything.
Yeah, it's because they think everybody's an idiot.
The Metal Great episode of Combat. I swear they're going to sell dogs.
Well, they chip them all. So they may as well.
Yeah.
Turn off the whole system off. It got too hot. It's called a knob.
Yeah.
You should be on top of that, hopefully. Squirrel.
Yeah, he just putting up random stuff.
Yeah,
he just want to talk.
That's
fine. Robert do that all the time.
Robert's gonna go in timeout.
No, he do that all the time. It's fine. All we got,
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. It's like society with all of the stuff they put out there, and people just suck it up. It's like, oh yeah, something else to make me lazier and lazier and lazier, and before you know it, if people are not going to have sense at all.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that movie that you was trying to get me to watch, that Idiocracy movie. I didn't see the whole thing, but I got the point of it.
Yeah.
From that little bit I saw, I'm like, they just want people to just stay home, don't leave the house, be terrified. But anyway, we're talking about nostalgia and toys and stuff like that. If you got 100 different smart devices in your house, all it takes is someone to hack into it, and now they have access to your locks, thermostat, and stove.
Or the government will turn it off, because that happened in Colorado. Remember?
Yeah, with the and California,
because they had to divert power to, I think, California, and so they shut off everybody's thermostats in certain districts. And they couldn't get air in the height of the summer.
Yeah.
And they were like, what the hell happened to my air? Well, you got the smart thermostat, you signed the contract, and we can turn it on and off at our leisure if we think there's an emergency, so suck it up. It basically what their CEO said. It's like, you signed it, what do you want?
Yeah. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Are they going to make some new Migos?
Yeah, I said earlier. Like I said, they're reissuing the ones that they said they were supposed to be Topps exclusives. So they broke their word with that. But of course, they'll be making other Migos. I just don't know what yet, because they don't tell me too much, because Dr. Migo doesn't like me.
But I mean, when companies do stuff like that, that's what pisses people off. They make a item and they say it's exclusive to here and there. They make it hard for you to get, and then a year later they re-release it and put it everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what turns people off and get people tired of collecting.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Oh, you got another from Jim.
I only have 2 right now.
The deep sea variant. I need one. Also, it's not a big line then.
No, it's a short line.
Oh, okay.
There's only a handful of figures, but she gave me 2.
Yeah, for what? Birthday 2. Or Christmas
I don't
or
remember,
something. I got 4 more Batman animated series, so I'm not going to get any more. I got 10 figures now. I got 10 figures and 2 vehicles, and that's enough because there's no more space. So I'm done with Batman the animated series.
I've seen that film. I don't think you have.
Demon Seed. That sounds familiar.
Is it artificial intelligence machine finds a way to impregnate a girl so he could transfer himself to the baby?
I think I did see that.
You think you did?
I think I did. I don't know. A robot. Yeah.
Colossus is more realistic.
Yeah.
Colossus was pretty good.
Well, it hasn't aged well, but a good story. I have some low Migo numbers, wondering if they're working. I remember when they re-released them, but a couple of years ago they had numbers on them.
Yeah, it starts off that way, and then over time it doesn't matter. And Playmates is a good example of that, because if you remember the Playmates, Star Trek and SeaQuest and all of those, they all have a number stamped on their foot, and it's a sequential number. And I remember in the 90s when they were doing that low numbers were getting a premium price. People were paying a lot if it was less than 100, less than 50, less than 10. Really early numbers people were paying big money for. Now nobody cares, and the figures sell for, in some cases, less than the original retail price, which is surprising to me. Again, Playmates is reissuing those figures and charging more for them than the vintage ones cost. But yeah, at first, that's an appealing novelty, but unless there's something specifically different about it, over time people aren't going to really care much unless it's like exactly number one or something.
Oh, Earthworm Jim only has 8 figures. He has 7.
Yeah, and is it one vehicle?
True, that's so true. Exclusive suck. Sadly, Hasbro Legend does this and hardly ever re-release those exclusive figures. Right now, I'm looking at Joe Fix It Walmart exclusive. That one looks dope. Also remind me of Maximum Overdrive.
That movie's goofy.
Maximum Overdrive was the one about the trucks, right?
All the
King
cars
one
came
about
to
the
life.
trucks.
Yeah.
And it had them held hostage at the gas station.
Yeah, that movie's stupid. He loved doing that kind of stuff though. Killdozer and
the car.
Carrie.
Not Carrie. Car.
Not Christine.
Christine.
Yeah.
But then he also had a car.
Yeah, that's right. Car also. He's got an obsession with that. He rewrite the same crap and nobody notices.
Yeah, you notice, but still it's still good though. But it was funny how those trucks is going in the circle. Then they want some gas. So they had to go out there and gas them up. 2,200 Blu-rays. Wow.
We don't know how many. We have more DVDs and Blu-rays, but we don't know how many. We never counted them.
No. That's the only thing I don't have catalog because I don't buy them often. So we got a lot of DVDs when we lived in Illinois. It was this pawn shop near us.
Pawn shops are great for that because they literally, when they buy DVDs, they pay a dime a piece for them, and they don't bother to check them, so they put them out for like $1 each or some kind of deal, 15 for $10, whatever, just to get rid of them. Usually.
Yeah. Yeah, just one vehicle. Okay.
Oh yeah, I thought so.
Oh, I was gonna ask Toy Chic about his Toxic Crusader. I saw the Toxic Crusader, in the in his video, and I wanted to know which one that was.
Because that cartoon, the vintage cartoon from what is it, like 91, is bonkers. That cartoon is
we watched it today. We watched the movie today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Not the live action one, the animated cartoon movie. And it's like, because you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is going to be stupid. But they knew that. And so they wrote it into the script and they make fun of the show on the show.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, they talk to the camera and they bring up points about like the one guy scolding dude for blowing the plot and stuff like that. And it's like they had the sense to make fun of themselves and it made it fun.
Yeah. What is the most obscure toy in your collection?
I don't know.
Thank you for asking my questions. You're welcome. We try to get them through.
I've got a handful of stuff that you never ever see. I mean, it's hard to say because I mean, I've got like the 1961 Marx Batman Batcraft, which looks like a bumper car. You see he's holding on the little joystick there, and things like that. Some oddball pieces that never come up, or I've talked about it before. My product people line that's up here. I've got the Trix Rabbit in the box, and 16 years of putting that collection together. That Trix Rabbit is the only one I've ever found still in the box, not loose. So I've got a lot of odd pieces that you never find, and some of them are worth some money, some of them are not. It depends because, of course, rarity doesn't always equal value.
Yeah. It's only valuable to you. I mean, anything is worth what you're willing to pay for.
It's more important what it means to you specifically. But, stuff like, or the Apollo moon landing. This one, I did a showcase on this one. A lot of people this one hit home for a lot of people when they saw that. And that's the processed plastic Apollo moon mission rocket circa 1970s. Because it's next to impossible to find this still on the card, but I had this when I was a kid. And that's like a rack toy that you would have bought at Woolworth or something.
Ridley says he's currently watching Young Sheldon. I've never seen Young Sheldon. I heard about it. I heard some people say that it was good. Um, and then I heard somebody said it was a comedy. I thought it was like a drama or something. But you said it's a melodrama. What's the last Migo you purchased? Mine's the Sock Deathstroke, the newer body.
I don't have any modern ones.
Well, he said, what's the last one? I
Uh,
have Tricks and Frankenberry.
the last, loose or boxed?
The old one from the 70s?
You mean
David got those 70s
you
ones.
mean the you mean the not processed plastic, the product people ones from like 1976? The last Migo, I don't remember. Well, I mean, the last ones I got were probably those. Who is it? Well, it's kind of Migo, isn't it?
You bought like a Batman or something.
Oh, that's right. It's just I couldn't remember. I was thinking of the wrong one. This is actually pretty nice. I know what you're talking about. This one, right?
Mm-mm. All day long.
Yeah. Well, that's the last Migo I bought, and I found this at the Toy Lanta. It's sealed, and it's really pristine. It's 1976, the deluxe Batman, still really clean. The card's not bent, but yeah, that's the last Migo piece that I got. I was thinking of something entirely different when you said that.
Reston says, are we the last generation of collectors? I saw a few kids at the Amazing Con. They were taking pictures with the animated voice actors for not picking up anything. I actually think so.
We might be getting to that point because we've already seen previous generations fade, like model train collectors, marble collectors, tin type toy collectors are fading in our generation.
Yeah, I think we are. You don't see people really collecting anything, and they're not making anything worth. In my opinion,
Yeah.
they're not really making anything worth collecting. And I think it was the last live stream. Somebody said that a person had an iPhone graded. It's like, what the heck? You go and we had said that when we did our video.
Yeah.
Is collecting dying? What are kids going to collect? iPhones and iPods, stuff like that, smartwatches. What are people going to collect? What are people in 20, 30 years going to get on eBay or whatever similar looking for to buy?
Uh-huh.
Would it be something from 2020, 2023 and all of that? You know, I don't know. I don't think people make anything. I liked MASH. I liked MASH when it was out.
Yeah.
That's the bad guy vehicle, the Apocalypse Attack Copter.
Okay.
I think we saw that in the video today.
Yeah, because they had those choppers.
One of the hardest pieces to find in the set. It's loose, complete with box insert. Love the color. I like the colors on the Toxic Crusaders. I always did.
Yeah.
And I thought about getting even the because Super 7 made the Toxic Crusaders. I've never bought it before, but when Super 7 came out with it and how those colors looked and it was just popping, it really made me want to get that. And then I saw the box you had today, and we were at Ollie's, and they had actually a Toxic Crusader comic book in one of the comic bags. And that was pretty cool.
It's right there, actually.
Yeah.
This
is the one we got from Ollie's this weekend. It was in the comic bag. Ollie's do them bag comics. Yeah. So that was cool. But I like the way the Toxic Crusader looked. And today was the first time I ever saw the cartoon, and it was actually pretty funny. Talking about I'm a ugly mutant with superhuman strength. Something they were saying. But it was fun. Yes. No box. 1972. Only show I hate more than that one was Little House on the Prairie. I thought was awful. I did not like. What's Will the naked G.I. Joe on the shelf? Are you looking to make custom?
Okay, I don't have a complete outfit for him yet, so I just had him sitting out there.
Prairie.
That's why he needs. He probably saw Pixel Dan's video.
Yeah, yeah. He's been had that. He need clothes for him. Holy moly!
Yeah, that's that easel. That's what it caught my eye about it was because it looks like I said, it hasn't been removed from the box, and the box is intact.
Ooh.
And I was just like, wow, crap, that is fantastic. And what dude wanted for it was shocking. Because I know what that's worth, and I don't get into prices. I don't talk about prices too much, but I'm like, wait a minute, how much do you want? I couldn't leave it there.
Migo did Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funko collectors is probably the youngest crowd, but it's no different than Beanie Baby. Yeah, you do have some young people that collect Funkos. Yeah. That's true. You do have that. And maybe people will go back and look for. You don't see too many people buying Cabbage Patch and Beanie Babies and Pound Puppies. Maybe that'll make a resurgence.
Poor Pound Puppies. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. A girl I dated collected smartphone cases. I don't know about that. Smart. Yeah. That's it. That is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how do you display that?
I don't know.
What do you do?
Turn it around backwards and put it on a pin on the wall, I guess. Dale, I've got the whole set except for a boxed Frankenberry. My entire set is sealed. I've got a complete box set of the product people. That's what these are all up here in this row. But the Frankenberry is the only one I don't have in the box.
What do you think about Cotswold items?
Cotswold's all right. They've been around for a long time. They've been around since the 90s, selling vintage 70s and 60s and 70s Joe parts and reproduction parts as well, but they do mark their reproductions.
Oh, you do have the Super 7 ones. They look good. And the one thing about Super 7, they don't do well in aftermarket, or at least they're not doing well right now. So sometimes you can buy stuff aftermarket cheaper than the retail price. So you can always go back. But that the Super 7 Toxic Crusader looks good. Just like I said, the way the colors pop, they look really good. Funko Pops, I wouldn't say are Beanie Babies. Yeah. I think they'll make a comeback down. Yeah, with collecting, but the Funko era is at an end.
It's close. So it's about 9 years because it didn't really jump off. They started making them in 2010, but they weren't popular. They didn't start getting popular until 2014, 2015. And that's when it jumped off and they started mass producing them. But yeah, it's getting close.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, really. You don't talk about money with nobody. Wow, awesome.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the product people up there.
Cowboy toys.
Yeah, well, I can answer that.
Okay.
In the 50s and 60s was a big cowboy resurgence of interest. And if you go to the 50s, you'll find that more than 50% of the television programming was Westerns. All kind, Bat Masterson, Gunsmoke, whatever. Even in the 60s, there was a lot of Western shows. And when they produced toys for that, remember, there weren't action figures yet. The closest thing you could get to action figures from before that was Ideal, which made 3 wooden figures. They did Superman and Pinocchio and a Popeye. And they were like 10-inch tall wooden action figures, jointed with us and strung together. So you didn't have that. You had a lot of dolls. If you wanted to play with an action figure, you could get a Ken. But so in the 50s and 60s, when they produced Western toys, it was pistol sets, it was holsters, it was outfits. You could buy a Western outfit, a hat, a jacket, whatever, and get your little pistols and play cowboy and whatever.
Yeah.
So when you roll into action figures, then when the idea jumped off with Hasbro's 1964 G.I. Joe, and this is why we couldn't do a 60s inexpensive action figure series, is because there's almost nothing from the 60s. You got G.I. Joe, you got a handful of G.I. Joe knockoffs. You have Bonanza, made by American Greetings. or American Character.
Mm-hmm.
American Character made Bonanza, but it didn't work. It didn't go well, and they canceled it. And then you start getting into Mark's Best of the West, and that's. But by the time we're rolling into the 70s, the popularity of westerns was waning. So they made less and less western related toys and action figures, and got away from that. Got more into sci-fi, and especially after Star Wars, got more involved with sci-fi and superhero stuff. But so it was out there. It's just, nowadays we associate toys with being action figures and play sets.
Yeah.
But back then it would have been like Army Men style little figurines or cap pistols or something like that.
Tin toy. No, Toxic Crusader is not dark. It's not a mature story. It's goofy.
Yeah.
It's like Cops. If you see Cops,
funny. Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah. It's mindless. You can sit there and not have to think about it. It's not in depth like Ecto Squad, Jace Wheel Warrior, Wing Commander.
They're real pretty detailed.
Yeah, they're detailed. You got to sit there and watch it and think about it. Toxic Crusader, you don't have to think about that at all. You can just watch it, and it's just funny.
Once Upon a Time in the West is one of the best spaghetti westerns. Well, not technically a spaghetti western, because I don't think it was filmed in Italy or had an Italian director, because that's where that term comes from. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West, Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Magnificent Seven. There's a handful from that time period, from especially the 60s and 70s. It's really fantastic. Favorite line from Once Upon a Time in the West is the guy with the suspenders, where he shoots the guy twice and pops both of his suspenders, and he says, "Suspenders and a belt? You expect me to trust a man who can't even trust his own pants?" Like, that's great.
I don't think Super 7 is that expensive. I think for what you get, I think the price is fine.
Yeah.
And as far, it looks good. I think the quality is better than most, especially like better than NECA and those type things. But they just don't hold their value that well. Some of the figures will go up, but not like skyrocket like others. But I think they do really good stuff, and yeah, they're not. I don't think they're $55. It's not bad.
I've seen the Jada General Mills. They look all right.
Yeah,
I haven't touched one, so I don't know.
I like Jada, period, and they were doing Universal Monsters and the General Mills. I think they look good.
Yeah, the Best of the West line from Marx is huge.
Yeah, you have that. Yeah. No, you got the Safari.
I've got the Safari, and I've got the Atrevidos Dynamicos series.
Yeah. Good quality. You have some of the McDonald's building playsets. Would you be interested in the fake McDonald's food playset?
I remember those. Maybe
those
if it's
growing up.
The ones from the 80s, maybe. And they did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Pistol sets.
They were huge, and they got killed because of an act of Congress, because they didn't want somebody to use a replica gun in a robbery to fool people. So I guess having a real one is better. Okay, I'll hold up a bank with a real gun instead. Brilliant. Oh yeah, that's right. When he fell into the vat, or he got run over and pushed into the vat.
Oh yeah. Tang Orange String had a toy moon car. The first Super 7 Toxic
really
goes for. Oh yeah, really? Okay. Diamond Select is re-releasing the new Blade. Oh yeah, boatload of accessories. I think they're the Blade movie.
And Wesley Snipes still around.
Well, they're using that other guy. Yeah. I don't know what his name is. Something Ali. Whatever his name is. I think that's the guy in the TV show.
When you're personified in a role, you almost don't want to see somebody else. That's why everybody's excited to see Keaton. It's like, wow, all these years, instead of putting out bad films, we could have just been making more Keaton Batmans.
But I thought he didn't want to do any more Batman because it was getting weird.
Yeah, that's why he stopped in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
because the writing got wonky. When he saw Batman 3, he was like, let Val Kilmer do it. Uh, but yeah, he thought it was getting weird and he wanted to back up. Which is unfortunate. He
Yeah.
didn't want to end up like Christopher Reeve, because the
Uh.
first two Superman, they're really well written.
Mm-hmm.
But then 3 and 4, even though 4 is kind of fun to watch because it's really goofy,
Mm-hmm.
but 3 and 4 just not on par with the first two at all.
Oh.
Also, keeping in mind that 1 and 2 were written as one story,
Okay.
but it was too long, so they split the film.
They wouldn't split it now. They don't care to put out about putting out a 4 hour long movie.
No,
But I mean,
it depends, because Lord of the Rings they turned into 3 films,
mm-hmm.
but they're long. They're still long. But that it's appropriate to stay. It was appropriate for them to do that to keep the writing as close as they could without pissing off the fans, because there was a huge fan base for Tolkien.
I had a Burger King fake food set in the 90s. Last I checked, complete set goes for nearly $100 on eBay. 90% of my collection are modern collector speakers and some 3 3/4
Okay.
I grew up with. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's you get a certain character in your mind. It's like if you expect Wesley Snipes to be Blade now, you don't want to see a new Blade. Don't reboot it again already.
Yeah.
Or Hugh Jackman. Nobody wants to see Wolverine and not be Hugh Jackman because they're so accustomed to him being Wolverine now.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you're going to replace him. Do I want to see this? Probably not. They reboot things too close together sometimes too.
Well, I don't know why you have the reboot stuff, because then you tell the same story over and you just tweak it a little bit, you change a little bit here and there. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't need to keep telling the same story over and over and over again. Just keep going. I mean, if you want to do another movie, continue on. That's why I like the recent Batman movie, because it didn't start from the beginning. They picked up in the middle of
Yeah.
his life. He's already the Batman. He already got an establishment. He's already there. And we just go from there. Because, you get tired of just seeing the same thing over and over and over again. It wears you out.
That's because they were trying to cram like a decade into each hour. Because
Mm-hmm.
they
Like
started with
Gandhi.
him uh, graduating college to be a solicitor, a lawyer.
Who are you talking about?
Gandhi. That's what he's talking about right there.
Oh, yeah.
They started with him coming back to India after graduating or becoming a lawyer all the way to his death. So it's like that's a lot of history to cover, a lot of ground.
I don't know about recollecting a lot of childhood toys. I'd look out of place compared to everything else I collect. No good way to display
You
it.
can figure it out.
Yeah, you can figure it out. It's always a way. But it's all about what you want and what you want your collection to look like.
Mm-hmm.
If you like modern stuff, get your modern stuff. Be happy with that. I like some new, some old. I like the majority old, but some things I like the newer stuff, like the Ninja Turtles and the Thundercats. I like the newer ones. Other figures, I like the older ones. So it all depends on what you're trying to do in your collection, because it's your collection, not somebody else's. Have you ever seen the new guy that said to be in the top running for Gun Superman? This guy's like a great value brand. Henry Cavill. They should have just used him. No,
Well,
I didn't see nobody else.
no, but I mean, his angle is, and the angle of the studio is trying to bring in younger people so they can hang on to them for a longer haul and attract a younger audience, which is always a mistake. They always want to target a younger audience by using younger people, but they forget what they were attracted to when they were younger. Mm-hmm. Did you want to watch teenage geniuses and kids when you were a kid? Goonies aside,
Mm-hmm.
There's the rare exceptions. Most of the time, you want to be someone else. When you were 10 years old in the movie theater, you wanted to be Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to be Luke Skywalker. You didn't want to be the 9-year-old genius. you know, because you're projecting.
Yeah.
And that's the mistake they're often making. We don't need a younger Superman or you're not going to attract a younger audience that way. It's never worked. Yeah, so I always wanted to watch the adult characters.
I have a box of childhood toys I don't display. I even have my first stuffed animal from when I was 2. Mm-hmm. It was like, we talked about that also today. When Toy Chic did his
because he showed video. A childhood toy.
Yeah, he showed a few, but some people kept their childhood stuff.
I got a couple of things, but
yeah, because I was just like, man, how come? Like, we never took pictures. Like, I do have pictures from Christmas, but then I didn't get toys. We got like radios. Yeah. And clothes.
I'm not sure he's a monkey.
But then you see like other people, they got like toys, like a living room full of like just toys and all kinds of stuff and pictures of that. And it's like, man, that's cool. What music figures you have? I don't have an Elvis figure. Be cool. Oh, you mean what would I like in 1/6 scale? Michael Jackson, Prince. No, Whitney Houston, Sting vinyl.
You'd always get those LJ and Michael Jacksons. It's the same, like 3 or 4 dolls in different outfits.
Oh yeah.
And then they reuse that body over and over again because it's the same body for the V Alien Visitor. It's the same body for Boy George. It's every figure they made. It was that same torso. They just changed the head or the skin tone, and put a new outfit on it.
I don't have any action figures. I do have some Funkos, but action figures of music artists, I don't have any. I never thought about them either. I mean, maybe like a Michael Jackson, something like that. I like some bands, but then who wants to have like 5 different? That's a lot.
Yeah.
With some bands like the Bee Gees is 3.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. I don't know. I sold a lot of it at 18 to make rent and deposit on my first apartment. I regret selling them.
That's a
now,
shame.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've all made a mistake like that, I think.
Yeah.
I used to have one I regret too as part of the collection I lost.
McFarlane did a mail.
I had the Migo Kiss set.
Oh yeah, they did a Backstreet Boys or New Kids on the Block. I think they did both. I would like that. I think Migo or somebody in the 90s did that.
I don't think it was Migo.
I don't know.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They had a Backstreet Boys, and I also think they had a New Kids on the Block. And I actually saw it because I looked it up like some months ago. I would get that.
Yeah.
If I saw it cheap, like a lot, and it was cheap, I would get that. But yeah, that's all I can think of now. I knew someone who sold his old Transformers collection. To this day, I wish I had purchased his collection. Hey, Kaiser!
Oh, you're late, Kaiser. You're late to the party.
The neck of Willie Nelson. Yeah, that Willie Nelson did look good.
It was, yeah. Well, the sculpt, the prototype looked good.
We'll see. Yeah. You see it in the in Walmart and Target. Even despite selling a lot of my childhood toys, I am proud that at 18 I lived on my own while most people lived with their mom and dad. I put myself through college. That's good. That's good.
Sure. But anyways, it is 11:15 where we are. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up because we have some things to do in the morning. Sorry you caught on so late, Kaiser.
Yeah.
But, of course, it'll be saved if you wanted to go back and take a look. And again, we will be going live Wednesday at, I believe, 9?
9 o'clock. We're going to try the comic book claim sale again.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some different things. Like we said, we're going to do some bundle sets. Yeah. We're going to do...
I'll do a $3 blowout series of books, and I'll just put them up and people can claim them.
Yeah, some mystery
Yeah.
boxes, stuff like that. So we're gonna have a couple of different things. We're gonna still have some slabs and raw books and stuff like that.
Yeah, join us anyways. Even
Yeah, I
you know,
mean,
just
yeah,
say
just to
hi.
hang out and chill for a while. I usually rewatch. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Sorry you caught on so late though, but we didn't
Okay.
announce it though.
Yeah, we just kind of
Yeah.
got on. I'll try to catch the screen when I can.
Well, we
Okay,
appreciate
great.
it.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and sign off, and thank you to everybody for joining us this evening. I never got a chance to eat my cookie.
Oh well, you don't need to eat online
Eat my
anyway.
cookie. Yeah, see, that's what they want to see, is me sitting here just slobbing on a cookie.
No.
But anyway, thanks for joining us, and maybe we'll get a chance to do this again sometime soon.
Bye.